the skill set of his team, because as you mentioned, you got a defenseman that we've seen the first couple of games up at forward in Monteith, and then Robo, as they call him in the locker room, is going to be moving back. Coach actually just told us he's a pretty darn good defenseman on a high-end roller hockey team as well, so he's not unfamiliar with defense, and he's going to be out there as a defenseman to start the game to get that first shift and kind of shake off the rust.
We'll take a short break. When we come back, we'll preview NC State's opponent tonight, the Stevenson Mustangs. You're watching Icepack Hockey on PackTV.
Build it, you demolish it. The legendary Home Wrecker Burrito. Come build yours today with 20+ fresh ingredients.
First online order, 10% off. Promo code ONLINE. From the top of D.H. Hill Library.
Don Diablo.
Oh yeah, this is actually like in my studio.
WKNC HD3 Raleigh.
Hey, what's up and what's going on, folks? It's Kid Kinetic, your boy, up here at the top of the hour. And guess what I got? A treat that's too sweet to beat.
This is Wolf Bites Radio.
Oh, that's really sweet.
NC State. Locally owned and operated by an NC State graduate, the Red and White Shop is your source for all things NC State. Just off campus in the Ridgewood Shopping Center at 3526 Wade Avenue, the Red and White Shop has everything the NC State fan needs. Sporting goods and memorabilia, your favorite NC State team apparel, tailgating essentials, Icepack gear. A proud sponsor of the NC State hockey team, a percentage of all Icepack sales go back to the team. Stop by today or visit us online. The Red and White Shop.
So with the fans, I mean, it sucks not having them here this year because they're an integral part to any time we have a home game. Their support and helping us get to nationals 2 years ago was just incredible, and how the community kind of rallied behind us and helped us get there. I mean, that was amazing. So if we could even have some semblance or replication of what happened 2 years ago this year, that would be absolutely unreal. This year specifically, we have a really, really good shot to, find some success and have a shot at winning that national title. And, the boys in the room believe we can do it. The coaches believe in us. Any support we can get would be amazing. You can donate at www.icepackhockey.com. This would help our team get to nationals, pay for flights, hotels, any transportation like buses and things like that. So we'd really appreciate your help in getting us there and helping us achieve our ultimate goal of winning that national championship. Thank you.
Welcome back to Icepack pregame, where NC State is about to face off with the Stevenson Mustangs here at the Wake Competition Center. Stevenson coming in tonight, they're going to be a little bit shorthanded.
Yeah, this is a team that's only going to have about 10 skaters, which is certainly going to be advantageous for NC State. They're going to be able to use that speed, try and wear down Stevenson, and that's going to be a real tough task for this Mustang squad to be able to try and stay with NC State, not just through a period, but through all 60 minutes of this hockey game.
Stevenson coming off a 4-1 win last weekend against Georgetown. Facing a bit of a tougher test here on the road here in Morrisville. What are you looking for Stevenson to do to try to compete in this game?
I think the big thing that's going to be important is going to be special teams for this team, for this Mustangs team. They did a really good job last week against Georgetown, who's usually one of the, in the top third when it comes to ACCHL teams. And so they haven't played for a season, but still, that's a program that's been pretty successful in the ACCHL, and they come away with a 4-1 win. They did have a couple of power play goals, saw some good individual skill for these two teams, or for the Mustangs, I should say. And so they're going to have to use some of that skill, use some of the speed that they have to try and draw some penalties and get themselves some chances on the power play.
You have the Mustangs may be an underdog, but Coach Mike Ergo's message is the same. I asked him what their goal was for this game, and he simply said, just send it. Expecting full effort and competition from these guys until the very last whistle. NC State and Stevenson hockey coming up in just a few minutes here on PackTV.
Locally owned and operated by an NC State graduate, the Red and White Shop is your source for all things NC State. Just off campus in the Ridgewood Shopping Center at 3526 Wade Avenue, the Red and White Shop has everything the NC State fan needs. Sporting goods and memorabilia, your favorite NC State team apparel, tailgating essentials, Icepack gear. A proud sponsor of the NC State hockey team, a percentage of all Icepack sales go back to the team. Stop by today or visit us online. The Red and White Shop. Locally owned and operated by an NC State graduate, the Red.
And welcome back inside the Wake Competition Center. We're getting through some starting lineups here, and you may see NC State got a new look tonight.
Yeah, gotta love these new uniforms. They announced them and debuted them on social media, I think it was yesterday. And, man, I really like them. Kind of have shades of Chicago with the lining around the sleeves and around the waist. And that old school look with the ice pack across the chest and the number below. Really got to love it. We're actually going to get to talk to the player for NC State that created not only these jerseys, designed the jerseys, but designed the Ice Pack logo as well. Eric Todd, who unfortunately was bruised up a little bit in that North Carolina game, hasn't played since. Coach did tell me earlier today he should be back soon, but we're going to talk to him certainly about the hockey game a little bit and about how he got these uniforms together, because like I said, they are some fresh-looking uniforms.
So whiteout here at the Wake Competition Center, NC State and Stevenson coming up shortly.
Locally owned and operated by an NC State graduate, the Red and White Shop is your source for all things NC State. Just off campus in the Ridgewood Shopping Center at 3526 Wade Avenue, the Red and White Shop has everything the NC State fan needs. Sporting goods and memorabilia, your favorite NC State team apparel, tailgating essentials, Icepack gear. A proud sponsor of the NC State hockey team, a percentage of all Icepack sales go back to the team. Stop by today or visit us online. The Red and White Shop.
From the top of D.H. Hill Library.
Don Diablo. Oh yeah, this is actually like in my studio.
WKNC HD3 Raleigh.
Hey, what's up and what's going on, folks? It's Kid Kinetic, your boy up here at the top of the hour. And guess what I got? A treat that's too sweet to beat.
This is Wolf Bites Radio.
Oh, that's really sweet.
NC State.
Build it, you demolish it. The legendary home wrecker burrito. Come build yours today with 20+ fresh ingredients.
First online order, 10% off. Promo code ONLINE.
Center. NC State pushing it into the offensive zone here, trying to get started against the Mustangs. This is Chris Solomon here along the left side. In the left circle, fires a wrister, blockered away into the corner. And the Mustangs will break it out. Coming across the middle now is Bennett. Wrister blocked away into the corner. Behind the net, Alex James will pick up for NC State. Pushing it ahead, batting it down out of the air was Solomon. Icepack unable to maintain possession. Finally, it's picked up again by James. Alex James comes to the right side. It's kept in by Zach Robinson. James gives it back to Robinson. He fires a wrister, glove saved by Shahadee, and he will freeze it.
Yeah, and James is a guy that you got to keep an eye on as his career here at NC State moves on. Just a freshman out of Lakeview, Minnesota, and I like the way he jumps into the rush. You got a little look at it there. He creates off the rush for this team. He's a great defenseman who's gotten involved and looks confident on that NC State blue line already in just his third game.
NC State off the tie-up, controls it in the offensive zone, drops back for James. James's wrister pad save by David Shahadee.
Shahadee's going to be busy tonight. NC State is going to look to pepper him with shots. I think they're going to want to overwhelm this Mustangs team, as we've talked about. Short bench. They've got obviously the 5 skaters on the ice, just 6 more on the bench. And they're going to look to wear him down quick.
As Riley Johnson's move is blockered away onto the sideboards. NC State will pick it up once again in the offensive zone. Slap shot from the point, deflects, takes an odd bounce, cleared away off the goal line. A quick chance there for the Icepack.
That was a great defensive play. I believe it was Burkhart who came in behind the goaltender and made that play. Shahadee got a piece of it but didn't get all of it, and did just enough and got some help from his defense to keep that one out, but a great chance there for the Icepack.
Bounced awkwardly off the shaft of the stick from David Shahadee, but the game remains 0-0. Icepack attempting to break it out now. It's kept in by the Mustangs, and there'll be a whistle. Looks like a hand pass.
And if I'm Coach Healy right now, the one thing you kind of want to clean up if you're NC State is your neutral zone play. That's always incredibly, incredibly important. And it feels like Stevenson's just having too easy of a time getting through the neutral zone. And we also seen the Mustangs defensively kind of clog up the neutral ice, particularly around their own blue line, and make it a little more difficult for NC State to enter into the offensive end.
The neutral zone now, it's dumped in by Sean Blayhut. NC State will reconvene on the puck. Pushing it ahead now, it's Miles Ferrone. His wrister swallowed up easily by Shahadee, nicknamed by the Mustangs Slim Shady, in between the pipes. On the other end for the Icepack, in between the pipes is Eric Daniel, getting his second start of the season. Got the win in the season opener against the Tar Heels.
Yeah, and he's been a much more confident goaltender since he's been here at NC State. I had to talk to Coach Healy before that Carolina game about him a little bit, and he felt like his confidence was low coming from a team that saw a lot of shots, or a team where he saw a lot of shots, and wasn't necessarily looking at how many he was stopping, but how many were getting by him. And he's been able to build that confidence back with a good core here in front of him at NC State, and he's looked really, really good.
A couple of freshmen out there on the ice for the Icepack right now. Avery Schaefer getting his first start of the season. Emery Oliver out there as well. Jackson Cohen and Alex Robinson for his first defensive start of the season, the skilled roller hockey defenseman. Icepack now attempting to maintain possession. Cohen keeps it in on the blue line, flips it ahead. Unsuccessful there. And Stevenson will push it the other way.
NC State doesn't seem quite as crisp as they usually are here to start this game. I don't think the passes are quite hitting the tape the way they need to. And they just haven't quite put it all together. Got the top line out here now, though.
Two-line pass there to Chris Solomon. Didn't result in any offense. Stevenson dumps it in behind the net. Hunt will play it. He gets it up to Solomon. Solomon's flip goes ahead to Colby Peterson. Peterson now with a little bit of speed. It's a 2-on-1. Peterson on the left side, pass it across, just off the stick of Matt Miller. NC State threatening, but can't seem to get a shot on the net.
A nice job by Geary there, the lone defenseman, back to get in the way. Wasn't able to completely prevent the puck from getting through, but he disrupted it enough to prevent the goal there. NC State starting to get some sustained zone time as well.
Solomon picks up, throws it out in front. Zach Robinson was all alone, but went off his skate. So Stevenson will dump and change. In their own end, the Icepack looking to generate another chance. Coming through the middle, Alex James, he dumps it in. Looking around for it, Riley Johnson will pick it up and lose it.
Really strong. That's the one thing that sticks out to me right now is the way Stevenson has been able to make it difficult for NC State coming through neutral ice. You see it here again. They're doing a nice job of funneling the puck to one side and then closing it off and then taking it away.
Stevenson now carrying it in. It's Brendan Jesse. He gets it down low. Wrister down from the goal line. Blocker down by Eric Daniel. Gets behind the net. They battle for it now. Victor Hugo takes a spill, but the Icepack maintain. Flipped ahead through the neutral zone. NC State yet to really create any sustained offensive pressure. Daniel will leave it once again for the veteran Victor Hugo. Hugo throws it up the left side. A nice little move. Moving ahead, it's Charles Monteith. Monteith, former forward, became a defenseman, is now playing up once more. He gets the puck in the slot, loses it, just hit it off on the circle. Ferrone couldn't get all the slap shot. Goes back to Ferrone now, top of the right circle, pad save by Shahadee. And moving the other way, it's Jonah Carlson. Carlson can't penetrate the NC State line. They'll flip it ahead. Go all the way back, and that'll be an icing.
And you can already see NC State, Max, getting a little bit frustrated, I think, with the inability to cleanly move it from blue line to blue line and then enter into the offensive zone. It resulted in an icing there, just trying to stretch a pass out to that far side where you have more room. He couldn't connect with Monteith, and now you got some tired bodies on the ice in the defensive zone faceoff.
Brendan Jesse will face off with Alex Fong to the right of Eric Daniel. Referee will call him off, bring him back in. Face off quickly won by Stevenson. Quick shot off the stick of Daniel, goes up into the mesh for a stoppage.
That's a smart shot through some traffic real quick off the face-off, and well done by Daniel to be ready. Gets down and deflects it up into the netting.
Quick shot coming in off the left wing from Stevenson captain. Josh Waterson scored a goal in the team's 4-1 victory over Georgetown last weekend. Miles Ferrone will push it ahead for the Icepack now. He'll get it in deep. Played by Shahadee. He dropped it for a teammate. They can't clear. Ferrone now. Throw it back behind that net. Arini a little give and go. Garrett Arini surveys his options. Gives it down low to Fong. Pushes it in deep. Monteith chasing after it. Couldn't catch the puck. Waterson with the backhand flip. And he'll get it down.
That was a great clearance there. You get it all the way down the ice, but you don't ice the puck. That's going to be really important for Stevenson. You don't want extended shifts when you have a short bench like the Mustangs do. Or you don't want long shifts, I should say. You want to keep them all short with that short bench.
Slap shot from Don Johnson blocked out in front. Jackson Cohen will whiff on the wrister. He gets it down to the corner for Drew Breshingham.
You can see here just some little miscues for NC State. That fan shot there, we've seen pucks bouncing over sticks a little bit. Just not getting the puck luck right now. as NC State just need to stay settled in here. They're starting to get extended pressure, and they're starting to get some chances. I think eventually one of them is going to end up in the back of the net.
Bouncing puck ends up on the stick of Avery Schaefer. He fires it wide. Goes to Emery Oliver now. Oliver from the blue line fires it off the stick of a teammate. It's Breshingham. He drops it now for Cohen, who throws it over to Don Johnson. Don Johnson's wrister finds a tip in the slot, and they score! Drew Breshingham. Right place, right time, and the NC State Icepack lead 1-0.
Yeah, and we'll get a look at the replay here. See, I think it hit a Mustang defenseman's stick and deflected up in the air and over top of Shahadee. I think it was Burkhart whose stick it hit, but as you alluded to, a nice little deflection there in front from Bressingham, and you put one past Shahadee. And there's not much he can do about that one. Deflected twice and ended up over top of him, but that's what NC State needed to get things going here.
So the Icepack finally cash in. First goal of this contest. Off the stick of Drew Breshingham. Stevenson looking to respond early, as surely their legs will get tired with a short bench.
Well, and if you're Stevenson here, you also have to make sure you have to pace yourself a little bit. You want to, jump back at NC State and try and respond quickly, but at the same time, you don't want to, spend too much gas, so to speak, and leave yourself tired on the back end, especially if you're not able to put one past Eric Daniel, and then you're down on energy and you're still down on the scoreboard.
Well, at the higher levels of hockey, guys won't be out there much longer than 45 seconds. Even that can be a bit long. Here comes Stevenson through the neutral zone. Candelana gets it in deep. Daniel will defer to his defenseman. Icepack breakouts intercepted at the blue line by Belayhut, but he's picked up by a teammate. Rister goes off a body, gets back to Bennett. Chimming it around him is Peterson, but the Icepack can't clear. Finally, they do get it out into the neutral zone. From the near side, Stevenson turns around and dumps it back in. Eric Daniel playing it behind the net now. NC State's top line out there. They fire it in. Peterson will collect. Oh, and he's met by Carlson. NC State holds the zone. Peterson with a couple dangles. Touch pass, give and go. Oh, NC State almost goes up 2-0.
That was a great passing play there. Just couldn't quite get it on net for Peterson. But NC State starting to come into form here.
Flip pass. Can't connect for the Mustangs. Carrying it in, Alex Robinson for Zach Robinson. Alex gets it back. Drops it back into the slot for Parker Zarek. His shot saved by Shahadee. Robinson now at the right point with a dangle. From the slot, he fires a wrister wide to the right. Riley Johnson. Pass across in the slot. Bounced off the stick. Wrap chance for Robinson denied. Another wrister. Another save, but the puck is still loose. In the left corner, Zach Robinson all over the puck.
Got to give some credit to Burkhart there, the defenseman, for stuffing that wrap chance and keeping it 1-0.
Zarek goes cross ice for Alex Robinson. His wrister deflects away. Zach Robinson uses it in the corner, flipped up and kept in by Jackson Cohen. Eventually, the Mustangs clear the zone. Some tired legs get a change for the Stevenson Mustangs. Josh Waterson flips it ahead off the stick of Brendan Jesse. Nothing doing there, but NC State pass goes off a teammate's stick. It's a turnover. The left point now, Stevenson controls it. Thrown across to Geary. Geary's shot blocked away by Zach Robinson.
And that pass went right through the crease there. NC State lucky that there wasn't a black jersey there to deflect it on goal.
2-on-1 chance for the Icepack, just couldn't connect on the pass. Riley Johnson looking for Zach Robinson. Geary will take it the other way. Through center, he backhands it in. The Icepack will set up another breakout. Arini calling for the long pass. He'll get it. Plays it off his skate. Pass goes across to Charles Monteith. Monteith with a power move on the backhand. Can't get to the front of the net. Ricky Frosch now on the right point. He gives it across to Ferrone. Ferrone's wrister. Can't find the cage.
On some of these shots, they're going to have to find the net if you're NC State. They can't all be going off the wall behind.
Monteith with a lot of speed circling through the zone. Drops it off for Ferrone, who gives it into Arini. Arini stubs it over to Fong. Alex Fong plays it on the backhand. They battle for it along the boards. Monteith attempting to come away with it, and he will. His wrister gets to Fong. He tries to find Arini below the goal line, but it gets away. It's eventually cleared all the way out, and Stevenson will get another much-needed change. It's almost as if they have two units that they deploy one at a time.
That's not a bad way to approach it either.
Ooh, Ferrone's pass in front of the net just flipped high above the net.
Well, Shahadee has looked really sharp here early. He's going to have a really good game, I think, to keep Stevenson in this, especially as his teammates in front of him start to get tired legs.
In the corner now, Emery Oliver throws it out in front to Avery Schaefer. Schaefer banging away at it at the side of the net. Eventually it is covered and frozen by David Shahadee.
And he continues to look strong in that Mustang net right now. But I'd like to go back to the break-in, not on this most recent offensive possession for NC State, but the one before that, the stretch pass to Garrett Arini, and the way that he received it with his skate, almost soccer style with a trap, was pretty impressive and led to a nice chance after that rink-wide pass over to Monteith where he brought it in. But a nice play there. NC State looking good. They're just a little bit off, it feels like, right now. And not quite on the same page with each other all the time.
Something perhaps an extended break can do, trying to shake off the rust. Breaking it in was Oliver. His attempt sticked away. Throwing it in from the center line now is Eric Bennett. NC State will pick it back up.
Not a bad decision there from Bennett either to just throw that on Daniel. It was only the 5th shot he's faced here in the first 13 and a half minutes. And so a bouncing puck from long range could give him some trouble, but Daniel did a nice job.
It's been an offensive zone draw for the Icepack here. To the left of goaltender David Shahadee. Be Solomon, Miller, and Peterson, NC State's top line. Chris Solomon will actually step into the dot, try to win the face-off, but he'll yield to the Mustangs. Brendan Jesse now. His own zone flips it ahead. Gets it up to Carlson. Carlson is intercepted by Alex Robinson. Robinson breaking in, fires a wrister into the glove of Shahadee, and he'll cover once more.
NC State still, for the most part, trying to figure out how to get into the zone cleanly. They've started to enter nicely and get some good zone time. But I like the way that this Stevenson team is playing right now. They're trying to slow the game down as much by clogging up the neutral zone in particular, but they're doing a pretty good job of it, and that's going to be the way they stay in this game, if they can keep the speed of the game down and conserve some energy.
Mustang doing a great job of limiting transition chances, but NC State scores. A rebound chance on a loose puck out in front. Chris Solomon banged it home, and the Icepack lead 2-0.
Here's another look at it. Just throw the puck to the net. Good things will happen. It took about 3 different attempts before they finally got the rebound to go. But eventually one of those is going to go. If you're Shahadee, you can only stop so many before one gets past you.
Good persistence on that play by Colby Peterson. Just picked it up off the backhand of the Stevenson defenseman and kind of tapped it over to Solomon, who had an open, yawning cage. So the Icepack lead 2-0. Stevenson looking to get something going of their own. NC State will reclaim the puck. Alex James through the left side. Tries a curl and drag through the legs of the defenseman, and maybe a miscommunication there from the Mustangs. It got all the way in on net, but Shahadee was there to cover.
And another pretty good atmosphere here at Way Competition Center again. Not quite the same capacity crowd that we saw against North Carolina, but you got the white out going tonight as well to go along with these new white jerseys. This is going to be a fun place to watch hockey over the years while NC State's here.
State-of-the-art facility, also the practice home of the Carolina Hurricanes. Stevenson now attempting to get out of their own zone. Appears that they will. Sean Blahut throws it in from center, and Eric Daniel will just cover that one up.
Well, these are the face-offs that are going to be important for Stevenson whenever they can get into the offensive end. We've talked about how they've kind of prevented NC State from getting into the attacking end of the ice. Well, they also, on their own, have had trouble getting in on the attack and haven't really had many opportunities here. You can see 12 shots to 5 right now for NC in favor of NC State. And winning this face-off as Stevenson does there is important, trying to keep the zone and get some chances.
Another sort of broken play in the Icepack's defensive zone. With the puck now, it's Waterson, his wrister, sticked away. They battle for it in the corner. Eventually picked up by Riley Johnson. He'll come streaking along the right side. Riley Johnson with a lot of speed. Plays to the inside, he gets through. Another nice save by David Shahadee. A good defensive effort there from the Mustangs as well.
There are times where Riley Johnson can just flip a switch and go do whatever he wants. That was an instance right there. And a nice job by Shahadee to stay on that post and keep it out.
Zarek attempting to thread the needle of Zach Robinson there. It was deflected up into the mesh for another stoppage. We're 27 remaining here in the first period. NC State leading 2-0 over the visiting Stevenson Mustangs. Short-handed squad here from the Mustangs, but providing some good effort and entertainment nonetheless.
Putting up a good fight right now, too, as well.
It's dropped back to Ricky Frosch off the faceoff. He carries it on the left side boards. Still controlling it is Frosch. Will eventually drop back to his partner, Miles Ferrone. He gets it right back, though. Frosch with a little saucer pass to Ferrone. He'll wind up a slap shot into the chest pad of David Shahadee.
Not a bad shot to take if you're Ferrone there, but I think just about everything that Shahadee, at least the indication right now, is anything he can see, he's going to stop. He's looked really, really good and limiting the chances that NC State has had. The 2 goals he gives up are one off of a couple of rebounds out in front and some point-blank chances. The other one deflected twice and then over his shoulder. You really can't fault him for either of those. So he's looked good, and he's going to have to continue to look good for this Mustangs team.
Stevenson won the defensive zone draw there. I have noticed they've been pretty good off the faceoff dot thus far in this game, but as you can see, puck still in that Stevenson zone, unable to break it out. Monteith now tries to carry it through the middle for the Icepack. He's picked off. The flip is going ahead for Candelana. Stevenson was offside. The Icepack picked it up and went the other way. We'll go all the way back into the Icepack zone. Another change for Stevenson, trying to keep those legs moving here in the first period.
Yeah, and you mentioned the proficiency in the face-off circle right now for Stevenson. That's going to have to stay up. That's one way that you can control the pace of play, by controlling the puck off the draw.
Arini through the middle. Drops a backhand pass in the slot for Alex Fong. His backhand chance swallowed up once more by Shahadee.
Yeah, just not the best shot there. It was a nice job by Shahadee to stay out on the top of his crease and take up as much space as possible. I'm not sure that NC State was really ready to take that shot where it was. I believe it was Monteith in the low slot there, and I don't think he was ready for that pass to come through.
Quick chance off the face-off draw from Emery Oliver goes wide. And Stevenson will get it in. Wristed ahead by Eric Daniel. Through the neutral zone now. NC State. The drop is for Oliver. His wrister off the stick of, I believe, Ken Burkhart, and out of play.
I think Stevenson is trying to hold on right now for the final 2:40 of this period. Starting to see NC State get a step. They've got a little bit more space. They're having a little bit easier time moving around the Stevenson defensemen. And on that play there, on the break in there, Bressingham, a nice little pass back to create that shooting opportunity.
Puck will escape the Stevenson zone. Icepack still with control of it, though. Backhander gets behind the net. Chased after by Zach Garno. He'll get it ahead to Jesse, who flips it up for Geary. Joey Geary picked off just inside the NC State zone, but Stevenson regains control in the corner. It's Jesse. He flips one out in front, nobody home. Stevenson can't keep the zone. Cross ice now. They will bring it in. Candelana taken away by Robinson. Alex Robinson, that is. He gets it up to Matt Miller. Miller now along the left side. Chasing after it was Solomon. He couldn't get it. Peterson now picks it up for the Icepack. Colby Peterson drops to the left point for Alex James. His wrister blocked away. Almost a little breakaway chance for Stevenson if they could control that puck. Unfortunately for them, they could not. And they'll just throw it all the way down for an icing.
Yeah, and the icings are what's going to be costly for the Stevenson team, as we've talked about. If you're Stevenson, you've got to avoid long shifts, and one way to create long shifts is to ice the puck and eliminate your ability to change lines and get fresh bodies onto the ice. Especially, we've already played 18 and a half minutes here. They're going to start to wear down until they get that break in between periods.
Icepack win the offensive zone draw and get it behind the net. Off a skate of Solomon, he tries to control it. Eventually, it is covered by David Shahadee.
And I would say still NC State has not played their best hockey in this one. I think the passes are looking a little more crisp later on in this period. Early on, there were a lot of passes, hopping sticks, some fan shots. We're not seeing quite as many of those, but still Stevenson doing a good job of keeping NC State out of those high danger areas.
Certainly competitive contest thus far. Colby Peterson now slings it cross ice for Matt Miller. Low wrister sticked away by Shahadee. Solomon gets it back to Miller. James walking into the slot now, goes to the backhand, hits a skate on the way through.
And that was a shot that you just throw towards the net in hopes that it pinballs through. Great job by Stevenson there to clog up the slot and not give James a shooting lane.
Victor Hugo now from the defensive position, pushing the pace, throws it out in front. Another great save by David Shahadee.
He did a nice job standing tall once again. Didn't have to move much on that one because it was right out in front, so not much of a chance for Solomon to deflect it across the net to the other side. But not a bad chance there in tight for NC State. They haven't had a whole lot of them. They've scored on a couple of them, but there haven't been a lot of chances right out in front of David Shahadee.
Icepack will win the draw once again. Johnson can't find the puck, stuck in his skates. Now they're battling for it. Robinson comes in to help out, but Stevenson eventually does not clear the zone. Still keeping it in is Robinson. He's hounded by the defender from Stevenson. Riley Johnson behind the net with just about 15 seconds to go. It gets into the corner now. Stevenson eventually does flip it out of the zone as the seconds tick away here in the first period. One more pass. Looks like that will be it for the first. NC State with a 2-0 lead after 20 minutes here at the Wake Competition Center. Coming up at the intermission, we'll talk to the designer of the NC State white-out jerseys. Also happens to be co-captain of the Icepack, Eric Todd.
Yeah, that should be an interesting conversation. We'll get his take on the way this first period has gone. NC State doing a good job out shooting Stevenson right now. Probably like to see a couple more goals in the back of the net.
All right, Icepack intermission coverage coming up shortly here on PackTV.
Build it, you demolish it. The legendary Homewrecker Burrito. Come build yours today with 20+ fresh ingredients.
First online order, 10% off. Promo code ONLINE.
From the top of D.H. Hill Library.
Don Diablo. Oh yeah, this is actually in my studio.
WKNC HD3 Raleigh.
Hey, what's up and what's going on, folks? It's Kid Kinetic, your boy, up here at the top of the hour. And guess what I got? A treat that's too sweet to beat.
This is Wolf Bites Radio.
Oh, that's really sweet.
NC State.
Locally owned and operated by an NC State graduate, the Red and White Shop is your source for all things NC State. Just off campus in the Ridgewood Shopping Center at 3526 Wade Avenue, the Red and White Shop has everything the NC State fan needs. Sporting goods and memorabilia, your favorite NC State team apparel, tailgating essentials, Icepack gear. A proud sponsor of the NC State hockey team, a percentage of all Icepack sales go back to the team. Stop by today or visit us online. The Red and White Shop.
So with the fans, I mean, it sucks not having them here this year because they're an integral part to any time we have a home game. Their support and helping us get to nationals 2 years ago was just incredible, and how the community kind of rallied behind us and helped us get there. I mean, that was amazing. So if we could even have some semblance or replication of what happened 2 years ago this year, that would be absolutely unreal. This year specifically, we have a really, really good shot to, find some success and have a shot at winning that national title. And, the boys in the room believe we can do it. The coaches believe in us. Any support we can get would be amazing. You can donate at www.icepackhockey.com. This would help our team get to nationals, pay for flights, hotels, any transportation like buses and things like that. So we'd really appreciate your help in getting us there and helping us achieve our ultimate goal of winning that national championship. Thank you.
Eric, not able to play tonight, but what's your impression so far of this game as a spectator?
I think it's been good. We started a little slow, but we picked it up. We have, I think, 20 shots on goal. I mean, you can't ask for more than that. They're going to start to go in eventually. Other team will get tired, Can't ask for more.
So one of the main reasons we wanted to talk to you tonight is actually everyone's noticed those new NC State sweaters, the white out jerseys. You actually designed those. So, when did this idea come to you? What was the process like designing, creating these jerseys?
I mean, we really wanted to keep building on the red jerseys that we started with 2 years ago now, I think. We wanted to have our own Icepack jerseys as we're building our own brand separate from the school a little bit. So we just had to find something that fit in. And I took a lot of inspiration from the Hurricanes white jerseys, how it says canes across diagonally. But we just changed it up a little bit, and I think they look really good. So.
Do you think we'll see any different sort of design quirks for the team in the future?
I'm hoping for black jerseys in the future at some point, but I have no idea. We'll have to see. All
right. Thanks a lot for taking the time, Eric.
Yeah, appreciate it.
Icepack leading 2-0 after 20 minutes at the Wake Competition Center. We'll be right back.
Locally owned and operated by an NC State graduate, the Red and White Shop is your source for all things NC State. Just off campus in the Ridgewood Shopping Center at 3526 Wade Avenue, the Red and White Shop has everything the NC State fan needs. Sporting goods and memorabilia, your favorite NC State team apparel, tailgating essentials, Icepack gear. A proud sponsor of the NC State hockey team, a percentage of all Icepack sales go back to the team. Stop by today or visit us online. The Red and White Shop.
From the top of D.H. Hill Library,
Don Diablo. Oh yeah, this is actually in my studio.
WKNC HD3 Raleigh.
Hey, what's up and what's going on, folks? It's Kid Kinetic, your boy up here at the top of the hour, and guess what I got? A treat that's too sweet to beat.
This is Wolf Bites Radio.
Oh, that's really sweet.
NC State.
Build it, you demolish it. The legendary home wrecker burrito. Come build yours today with 20+ fresh ingredients.
First online order, 10% off. Promo code ONLINE.
And welcome back to Icepack Hockey on PackTV, where NC State is leading Stevenson by a score of 2-0 after the first period. I'm Max Gore, and joining me is Chris Lehman. And Chris, NC State trying to shake off the rust after a bit of an extended break in this game, and sort of that might have been a little apparent early on in this game.
Yeah, we saw passes, hopping sticks, some fan shots, but it felt like they settled in. And the thing that I liked about the way NC State played that period is they didn't let those little things that, just kind of puck luck, things you don't have control over entirely. They did a nice job of just pushing through it, continuing to play in the system that they wanted to play in, and they created some chances and, of course, put 2 up on the board.
Yep, 2 goals in that first period for NC State. Drew Bressingham getting the first on a deflection out in front. And then second, Chris Solomon, very frequent goal scorer, as we all know. Sitting out in front, right place, right time. Good persistence by Colby Peterson. He just tapped it on over there for a little empty net sort of goal for Chris Solomon.
Yeah, and that's kind of what we're going to see, I think, throughout this game, at least right now, as Stevenson still has some energy that they can compete with. I think you're going to have to get in those dirty areas if you're NC State, because Stevenson has done a good job, as we mentioned, clogging up the neutral zone. They've really funneled the puck to one side nicely, which NC State has really kind of played into a little bit, at least early on in that period, and that has allowed the Mustangs to conserve a little bit of energy. And then even in their defensive zone, they've done a pretty good job of keeping the puck to the outside. You can see it when the puck gets around the net or when NC State has a chance just outside of the slot. They really compress in front of the net. They don't give a lot of clean passing lanes and a lot of clean looks in tight, and that is a big reason I think that they've been able to keep it to just a 2-0 game at this point.
NC State frequently does attempt those cross-ice passes through the slot, trying to find those one-timers and those good offensive scoring chances. And they have had a lot of chances in the first period, 20 shots on the board, but 18 saves for the netminder from Stevenson, David Shahadee.
Yeah, and Shahadee's going to have a really good game. As I mentioned a couple times during the period, he's looked good. His positioning is good. He's out at the top of his crease challenging shots, and he's made some pretty good saves. And like I said, the 2 goals he gave up really can't be put on him. One gets deflected twice before it gets past him. The other comes off of the second rebound on a couple of point-blank opportunities. So he's looked really good. You might need him to steal some of those kind of saves, make some flashy saves with the glove or split saves with the pads to keep his team in it. But it's certainly going to need good goaltending if you're the Mustangs trying to win this hockey game.
Icepack lead 2-0 after 20 minutes. We'll be back with more intermission coverage after a few messages.
Locally owned and operated by an NC State graduate, the Red and White Shop is your source for all things NC State. Just off campus in the Ridgewood Shopping Center at 3526 Wade Avenue, the Red and White Shop has everything the NC State fan needs. Sporting goods and memorabilia, your favorite NC State team apparel, tailgating essentials, Icepack gear. A proud sponsor of the NC State hockey team, a percentage of all Icepack sales go back to the team. Stop by today or visit us online. The Red and White Shop.
NC State Icepack leading 2-0 the first intermission here at the Wake Competition Center. As we'll take a look at how we got here. A couple goals in the first period. We'll take a look at the first one here. Puck got to the left point on the stick of Don Johnson. He fired a nice little pass into the slot and a good deflection by Drew Bressingham. He found a bounce along the way, and that was the first goal for the Icepack.
And you get a look at the second one as well. A lot of chances in tight there. Just got to throw it at the net sometimes. Nice job by Colby Peterson. I believe Solomon obviously in there as well, getting the goal off of that rebound. But just getting into those dirty areas like we talked about, getting a couple of chances, and then putting it in the back of the net. And that's what it's going to take, I think, for NC State to continue to add to that lead right now.
Getting a clean sheet of ice out there for the second period. Icepack leading 2-0. We'll be back shortly.
Locally owned and operated by an NC State graduate, the Red and White Shop is your source for all things NC State. Just off campus in the Ridgewood Shopping Center at 3526 Wade Avenue, the Red and White Shop has everything the NC State fan needs. Sporting goods and memorabilia, your favorite NC State team apparel, tailgating essentials, Icepack gear. A proud sponsor of the NC State hockey team, a percentage of all Icepack sales go back to the team. Stop by today or visit us online. The Red and White Shop.
From the top of D.H. Hill Library.
Don Diablo. Oh yeah, this is actually like in my studio.
WKNC HD3 Raleigh.
Hey, what's up and what's going on, folks? It's Kid Kinetic, your boy up here at the top of the hour, and guess what I got? A treat that's too sweet to beat.
This is Wolf Bites Radio.
Oh, that's really sweet.
NC State.
Build it, you demolish it. The legendary homewrecker burrito. Come build yours today with 20 plus fresh ingredients.
First online order, 10% off. Promo code ONLINE.
And welcome back to intermission coverage of Icepack hockey on PackTV. I'm Max Gorin. Joining me is Chris Lehman. And Chris, Icepack with a 2-0 lead early. We've got a much deeper bench in this game than Stevenson, who's only icing 10 skaters. How do you see them approaching this game moving forward?
Well, I think we're going to see more of the same. I did get a chance just to chat real quick a moment ago with Coach Healy. Very pleased with the way that they're playing so far. Kind of agreed when I mentioned, not quite getting the bounces, but he liked the way they kind of played through that and were able to pick up a couple of goals. So very happy. I don't think we're going to see a lot of differences. One thing he mentioned, and something that they've kind of added to their repertoire this year as a coaching staff, is the analytics. And they broke it down after the first two games against North Carolina and against Liberty, and their ability to exit the zone, kind of their efficiency exiting their own zone, exactly the same in those two games. The big difference between the North Carolina game and the Liberty game from an analytics perspective for Coach, the big thing that they took away was the fact that their zone entry efficiency dropped significantly, and that's something they need to work on. We've seen it a little bit through the first period. Part of it, I think, the way that Stevenson funneled them to the sides and didn't give them a lot of space to enter the zone, but that's something he's going to be looking for in the second period, is to get that entry into the zone a little bit more efficient.
Personally, a key I'll be looking at the rest of the game is, will Stevenson be able to stay out of the penalty box? There were no penalties for either side there in the first period, but that can be something that can be very demoralizing, can really put you behind, especially with such a short bench that they have in this game. Going a man down for any amount of time, having your skaters out there trying to kill penalties can be something that could be a large detriment, especially in a game like this.
Yeah, and it'll be really interesting when we do see that first penalty, whichever way it goes, because as I mentioned, a couple of power play goals for Stevenson last week helped drive that win over Georgetown. So they've got a pretty good power play unit, and it'll be interesting to see what they can do. But as you mentioned, on the flip side, you don't want to have to defend on the penalty kill if you're Stevenson, because you have such a short bench. So that's certainly going to be important going into that second period. And the other thing is the goaltending. It's got to continue to be good. I see no reason why it won't continue to be good from David Shahadee, but he's going to have to continue to play well as we head into the second period.
Yeah, a power play goal or two. It's only a 2-0 game.
Exactly.
Could become very competitive down the stretch. NC State leading 2-0 over the Stevenson Mustangs here at the Wake Competition Center. Second period action coming up right here on PackTV.
Build it, you demolish it. The legendary homewrecker burrito. Come build yours today with 20 plus fresh ingredients.
First online order, 10% off. Promo code ONLINE.
From the top of D.H. Hill Library.
Don Diablo. Oh yeah, this is actually like in my studio.
WKNC HD3 Raleigh.
Hey, what's up and what's going on, folks? It's Kid Kinetic, your boy, up here at the top of the hour. And guess what I got? A treat that's too sweet to beat.
This is Wolf Bites Radio.
Oh, that's really sweet.
NC State. Locally owned and operated by an NC State graduate, the Red and White Shop is your source for all things NC State. Just off campus in the Ridgewood Shopping Center at 3526 Wade Avenue, the Red and White Shop has everything the NC State fan needs. Sporting goods and memorabilia, your favorite NC State team apparel, tailgating essentials, Icepack gear. A proud sponsor of the NC State hockey team, a percentage of all Icepack sales go back to the team. Stop by today or visit us online. The Red and White Shop.
So with the fans, I mean, it sucks not having them here this year because they're an integral part to any time we have a home game. Their support and helping us get to nationals 2 years ago was just incredible, and how the community kind of rallied behind us and helped us get there. I mean, that was amazing. So if we could even have some semblance or replication of what happened 2 years ago this year, that would be absolutely unreal. This year specifically, we have a really, really good shot to, find some success and have a shot at winning that national title. And, the boys in the room believe we can do it. The coaches believe in us. Any support we can get would be amazing. You can donate at www.icepackhockey.com. This would help our team get to nationals, pay for flights, hotels, any transportation like buses and things like that. So we'd really appreciate your help in getting us there and helping us achieve our ultimate goal of winning that national championship. Thank you.
Locally owned and operated by an NC State graduate, the Red and White Shop is your source for all things NC State. Just off campus in the Ridgewood Shopping Center at 3526 Wade Avenue, the Red and White Shop has everything the NC State fan needs. Sporting goods and memorabilia, your favorite NC State team apparel, tailgating essentials, Icepack gear. A proud sponsor of the NC State hockey team, a percentage of all Icepack sales go back to the team. Stop by today or visit us online. The Red and White Shop.
From the top of D.H. Hill Library.
Don Diablo. Oh yeah, this is actually like in my studio.
WKNC HD3 Raleigh.
Hey, what's up and what's going on, folks? It's Kid Kinetic, your boy, up here at the top of the hour. And guess what I got? A treat that's too sweet to beat.
This is Wolf Bites Radio.
Oh, that's really sweet.
NC State.
Build it, you demolish it. The legendary homewrecker burrito. Come build yours today with 20 plus fresh ingredients.
First online order, 10% off. Promo code ONLINE.
Second period, about to drop the puck here at the Wake Competition Center. NC State leading. Officials about to drop the puck here in the second period at the Wake Competition Center. Players out of the locker rooms, getting loose. It's the seconds tick away here on the first intermission. Goals from Drew Brushingham and Chris Solomon, getting us to where we are currently.
And this will be an interesting period for the Mustangs. You always hear about the second period. It's the period of the long change. A little bit more difficult to get off the ice when you have to cross the other side of the red line. Got to get the puck deeper and for a little bit more time to be able to get clean changes off. We'll see how that impacts them here.
NC State wins the opening draw quickly. Chris Solomon fires a wrister. Goes just wide and high to the right side. NC State will push it ahead once more. Met in the middle by Carlson was Alex James. But the Icepack maintain control. It's up to Chris Solomon. Solomon tries to throw it ahead. It goes off a stick into the chest of Colby Peterson. His attempt out in front, picked off. Stevenson attempting to clear the zone. Flip out in front, sticked away. Through the middle now. Gets flipped ahead for Hoover. Hoover's try out in front, stopped by Matt Miller. A stick goes flying behind the play as NC State pushes ahead. They will tag up and attempt to enter the zone. On the right side, Chris Solomon drops it for James. James with a dangle. He'll go behind the net. Tries to go to the backhand. Knocked away by Nick Hoover. NC State still playing the puck in the offensive zone. The defenseman will go for a change. Stevenson finally flips it out. Chasing after it, Eric Bennett. But NC State has yet to yield control of the puck. Gets flipped all the way down, and that'll be icing.
Oh, and there you see NC State trying to push a little stretch pass forward and try and take advantage of the long change that Stevenson was trying to execute there. And just a little bit overshot on that pass, but that's something to keep an eye on. If you're NC State, that you know that this Stevenson team wants to get on and off the ice quickly, and you have the potential to exploit that in this second period with the longer change.
Parker Zarek will face off with Jonah Carlson to the left of Eric Hunt, and the Icepack win the draw. So they'll break it out, flipping it ahead for Johnson. Couldn't quite make the connection. Goes in on Eric Daniel, and he'll defer to Ricky Frosch. Frosch now loses control, but almost in an intended way, gets it up to Johnson. Icepack continuing to push their way through the neutral zone. Slapped away by the Mustangs. Farone now will collect. NC State continuing to attempt to break this out. Johnson's dangle is planned for by Balehut. Through the middle, Zach Robinson now drops it off for Frosch. His slap shot goes just wide. NC State threatening.
It was a smart play there to drop it off for Frosch as well. He had the best angle and a good chance there. He just couldn't find the frame.
Here's Arini trying to make a blind pass. Stevenson will dump it in and go for a change. Zach Robinson, indirect pass off the board to Garrett Arini. Arini tries to play through three defenders. Can't slip his way through. Bennett has no idea where the puck is. Flipped all the way in by Candelana. They battle for, ooh, a late hit there by Eric Bennett, and that'll be a penalty.
Well, that was a very avoidable penalty, too. It was very obvious the puck was not there when he made the hit. And it's going to be a big power play chance for NC State.
So finally, it's touched up by Hoover. And Stevenson will go on the penalty kill here just a few minutes into the second period.
All right, you get a look at some physical play there, but it's going to be an interference penalty against Bennett. And this will be an important 2 minutes for NC State. They've got a great, just up and down the roster, they've got a lot of skill. And this power play is going to have a chance to put that on display. If you're NC State, you want to score, but maybe you want to pass the puck around, make them move a little bit, and try and wear them down as well. I don't think they're going to turn down a good scoring chance.
So Zarek will win the draw for the Icepack. Back to Chris Solomon. Solomon flips across to Hugo. Hugo's wrister gloved easily by David Shahadee. And on the flip side of that, a kill here for the Mustangs could be a momentum builder. 2-0, a very manageable deficit in a hockey game.
Yeah, and penalty kills can be used to spark a team a little bit. I think it would be a big kill here for Stevenson if they could.
Another wrister from Solomon, gloved by Shahadee.
We'll get another look at it here right off the draw. Nice shot by Solomon, but keep an eye out on where Shahadee is. He steps up and out. You get a look at it here, up and out to the top of the crease there to take away the angle, and he makes a nice glove save.
And the Mustangs do clear here. So Hugo will fall back into the zone and try to get this power play rush started. Cross ice pass for Johnson, a little too strong. Did take a slow bounce. He's able to collect into the slot now. Trying to make an extra pass was Arini. Defended well by Stevenson. And they'll send it all the way down.
Yeah, they've killed off a little over 40 seconds of this penalty so far. And that's a nice clearance. As we talked about the long change, you send NC State all the way back behind their own net, and they get a fresh set of bodies out to kill this.
2 penalty killers able to get a change here for the Mustangs. Victor Hugo will carry it in for the Icepack on the power play. His cross ice pass is sticked away. Solomon now drops it for Matt Miller. He gives back to Hugo. Solomon now top of the right circle, does a toe drag, walks in, his shot, blocked on the way through, it's still loose, and they score! It trickles through. Not sure who was the last Icepack forward to touch it, but either way, NC State leads 3-0.
We'll get a look here. We'll see if we can figure out who it was. Great move by Solomon just to get this to the net. And look at what it is, another dirty area goal that just trickles across the goal line. And it looks like coming through the line on the celebration, I think it might have been Peterson in front of the net who got the last touch to it. Either way, it was another goal down low slot right around the net. Not much you can do if you're Shahadee, but just try and get in front of the bouncing puck, and it found its way through.
Just couldn't secure the loose puck, and it just trickled its way through just over the goal line. NC State leads 3-0. Pushing it ahead now. Candelana chases after it. Icepack. Emery Oliver the other way. Drew Bershingham entered the zone offsides. Zach Robinson will be credited for the power play goal. It did look like he was lurking there sort of out in front of the net.
Yeah, there's a nice pile of bodies there. And that's the best way to do it is just get bodies in front, throw it at the net, and see what happens. You see pucks just find their way through more often than not.
Bershingham with the takeaway and the quick wrister, saved and frozen by David Shahadee. So we'll take another look. Pass just picked off there through the middle, shrugged off the defender and fired a little wrister.
Yeah, and that's one thing I didn't really mention in the first period was NC State sometimes is a little careless coming out of their own end. We watched them turn it over at their own blue line 3 or 4 times, and they turned the tables on Stevenson there. A nice little steal at the offensive blue line for Bershingham and got a good chance out of it.
Alex Robinson now plays it over to Bershingham. His shot once again saved by Shahadee.
Yeah, and those are the chances that I think Shahadee's not going to have too much trouble with. He had to move a little bit, but if you're going to make him move post to post, the shot's got to come pretty quick or he's going to be square and ready.
You know, despite the score on the scoreboard, we've been talking about it just about all game thus far. A very solid, confident-looking performance in the net by the Stevenson netminder. Mustangs will clear. Chasing after it. There'll be no icing. Robinson and Jesse go after it. Eventually it gets into the other corner for Avery Schaefer. And the Mustangs are going to take another penalty.
And you're starting to see them get a little bit frustrated here. And it's going to get costly. And as we mentioned, NC State's got a lot of skill on their power play up and down the lineup. And we saw them put a power play goal in already, and not long after it, in fact, almost exactly a minute after that power play goal, they're going to go back on it.
Brendan Jesse will sit. 2 minutes for interference. And as we mentioned during the intermission, special teams taking penalties can really turn the tide of a game, especially with just 10 skaters. Stevenson probably kicking themselves. Taking another penalty there. It's the low little flip from James, deflects up and out of play.
Yeah, smart shot there. I think he was aiming for the stick of Matt Miller, who was standing right out in front. And Miller actually got a touch to it, just didn't deflect it on goal, but a nice little setup.
So another offensive zone draw, won by the Icepack. James will curl back onto the backhand, leave it down in the right corner. He'll receive it once more. Another little backhand flip. NC State trying to work off that sideboard. It is taken away and cleared all the way down.
Well, I talked about how comfortable James looks out there. There's another great example there. He holds on to it at the blue line, doesn't make the pass across and try and get rid of it too soon and turn it over.
Oh, flip out in front from a tough angle, and the Icepack score. Alex James, I believe, carried it down the left side. Just fired a casual wrister up and over the shoulder of David Shahadee.
And this is one you wouldn't necessarily expect Shahadee to give up. I think you look at his reaction. He was expecting the pass across, and James instead took the shot. And it caught him off guard and ends up in the back of the net. You can see some fans there enjoying what is now a 4-0 lead.
They got a good view of that goal up on that goal line corner by the old PNC Arena, Oregon, here at the Wake Competition Center. So the Icepack now lead 4-0, doubled their lead from the first period thanks to a pair of power play goals. Stevenson looking to not let this one get away from them. Attempting to play it up off the boards was Waterson. Icepack intercept. Gets flipped ahead to Don Johnson. Johnson goes behind the net. Looking for teammates. Throws it across to Charles Monteith. Monteith cycles around himself. With a bit of speed, Monteith still looking. Eventually fires a wrister. It hits a body and goes behind the net. Mustangs will just barely clear it out.
I think the short bench starting to show there for Stevenson. You can look, wasn't a lot of movement from the 5 guys on the ice there. It was not all too hard for Monteith to just carry that around through the zone. I think these guys are starting to get tired.
Another glove save there for David Shahadee, and difficult to find these line changes for Stevenson when you're trapped in your own zone. You mentioned the period of the long change. It's really hard to get down to that other end of the ice and get some fresh legs out there. So Miller will face off with Carlson to the right of David Shahadee. Icepack win it. Solomon fires a wrister. Deflecting away. They battle for it now. It's picked up in the corner. Trying to pass it into the slot was Matt Miller. Stevenson intercepts, and they still can't clear. Eventually it does get out to Carlson. Jonah Carlson flips it ahead on the backhand. Gets all the way in. Carlson could have tried to make a play on the puck there. Instead went to play the body. And the Icepack take it away as a result. Flip is once again ahead to Carlson. He pursues Matt Miller.
Doing a pretty good job in there on the forecheck as well. Not making it easy here on NC State to get out of their own end.
Carlson getting very aggressive on this forecheck. They're still tied up behind the play. James and Carlson going at it.
And I think they both might go here. They've been going at it for a couple of sequences up and down the ice there.
James and Carlson will both sit for roughing penalties. We'll see if they'll play 4-on-4? It appears they will. This is a signal from the official there.
Well, if you're Stevenson here, it's kind of a double-edged sword. You don't have as many guys on the ice. You're still playing even strength, so you can rest more guys on the bench, theoretically. But at the same time, less guys on the ice, more space to cover. You got to skate a little bit harder. It's going to wear down on them, I think, a little bit playing 4-on-4. And I certainly think with the skill that NC State has, it's going to benefit the Icepack a little bit more.
Josh Waterson, the Mustang captain, facing off against Parker Zarek. Is tied up and eventually won by the Mustangs. Flipping it ahead is Candelana. Oh, and it squirts out ahead. Oh, nearly a wide open scoring chance for Josh Waterson, but the officials call it offside. Would have been the best chance yet for the Mustangs. Waterson wins the draw again, flips it ahead. Just escapes the Icepack zone. Riley Johnson now gets it up to Ricky Frosch. Frosch coming in the right side. Attempts a wrister, goes into the corner. Here's Parker Zarek with a little dangle. He'll drop it for Johnson, a dangle of his own. Oh, seam pass right across to Zarek. Hit the outside of the net with the shot. Ferrone gives it to Johnson. Drop pass from Johnson, goes all the way across to Frosch. Frosch now doubles back, gives it back to Johnson. At the point, it's Ferrone. His slap shot catches a teammate's body. Stevenson will clear it all the way out. It will not go all the way down for an icing. Oh, all the way up on the blue line. Arini gets it out in front. He's bodied. Knocked away by Shahadee. Eventually, Stevenson will still not get control of the puck. Finally, they do here, as the Icepack forwards are going for a change. Lots of open ice in the 4-on-4 scenario. Can lead to some fast, high-octane play.
You saw that chance for Arini. That doesn't happen in 5-on-5. There's not quite as much space to do that.
NC State going for a lot of stretch passes. Trying to thread the needle there out in front to Zarek on that scoring chance. Couldn't convert on those. So now Stevenson will have an offensive zone draw. Brendan Jesse yields to Charles Monteith. The Icepack will flip it ahead. Arini against Garno. He gets it up. Cohen now through the middle to Monteith. He couldn't quite handle it. Jesse knocks it ahead. Brendan Jesse, hounded by the Icepack defenders.
That was a nice back check by Monteith to not take a penalty and knock the puck loose. Looks like we're back to 5-on-5 too.
Carlson and James released from the box. Daniel plays it on the backhand. A little contact there between Daniel and Carlson. Icepack movement ahead. Emery Oliver. His pass has a little too much on it. It gets back to the point for Alex Robinson. Looks like another delayed penalty here against the Mustangs. Emery Oliver drops for Jackson Cohen. Cohen give and go to Oliver. Zach Robinson. He's pinned. Icepack still control the puck. Still a delayed penalty. Alex Robinson. His wrister blocked away. Zach Robinson now. Back to Alex. He flips it across to Jackson Cohen. Cohen fires it into the corner. Alex Fong now. Fong gives it back to Cohen at the point. His wrister blocked by Sean Blayhut. And finally, the officials will whistle the delayed penalty.
Well, NC State 2 for 2 on the power play so far. Going to get another chance. This is going to be the second penalty on Jesse. Went for interference a little earlier on in the period. But a great chance here for NC State. Already well in control of this one, but can really put a stranglehold on this game with another power play goal.
Once again, the power play will start with Zarek on the faceoff dot for NC State, and they win it. Riley Johnson, high slot, gives it back to Solomon. Victor Hugo now tries to fire a low wrister, doesn't get through, and slapped away.
Nice clear there by Josh Waterson to get it deep and get that Stevenson penalty kill. A little bit of a breather here. You could see it. They're not moving much. They're trying to stay compact in that diamond formation around their own slot to try to protect the front of the net, but they're not doing a lot of moving and putting a lot of pressure on this NC State power play.
Hugo trying to quarterback the power play, throws it across to Solomon. Solomon has on the right circle. Feeds it across. Can't hit the tape of Zarek. Hugo. Solomon. Oh, wrister, maybe a quick pass there right in front was Arini. He couldn't get it. Hugo's wrister saved by Shahadee. It's flipped back to Hugo. Gets across to Solomon. He drops for Johnson in the slot. It flips high in the air. Goes over the net. In the corner, Stevenson still unable to clear the zone on the penalty kill. It's Johnson to Zarek. Out in front, saved by Shahadee. Flipped off the skate of Hugo. It stays in. Zarek gives across to Solomon. On top of that right circle, once again, it's blocked. Hugo's wrister. I believe off the stick of Shahadee, it'll go out of play.
Yeah, and a couple of really good chances there for NC State. We'll get a look at the most recent one. Good puck movement. They've done a great job of getting it across to Solomon. That time looked like the penalty kill of Stevenson anticipated the play, but they've generated some really good chances by working the puck across on the power play to the top of that right circle for Solomon. He's got great vision. We've seen him throw a couple of kind of shot passes, we'll call them, because they weren't slap shots or slap passes. They were more like wrist shots that were intended to be deflected, but that's created some good chances.
Alex Robinson now gives the left circle. Colby Peterson's wrister goes just high. It will escape the zone. Alex Robinson playing defense. The first time in his NC State career. He's flying in on the left side. Drops for Alex Robinson, or Zach Robinson, excuse me. Received the pass from Alex, and the shot went high. Penalty over now for Brendan Jesse. We're at full strength. Matt Miller gives it down low. Intercepted by Jonah Carlson. Carlson tries to body Matt Miller. It looks like he'll probably go for a holding call here. It'll be a trip. Jonah Carlson back to the box for the second time this period.
Yeah, and that's kind of a tough one to call there. They both kind of felt like had a right to the puck and got tangled up. And unfortunately for Stevenson, they're going to get the short end of the stick, and it looks like Carlson will be the only one to go. And NC State, coming off of their first power play they were unsuccessful on. See if they can get back on track. Hard to say they weren't on track on that power play. A lot of good chances, just didn't find the back of the net.
Stevenson players discussing with the officials. Call will remain the same. So the faceoff will be to the left of David Shahadee. Matt Miller this time taking the draw for the Icepack. Puck is played ahead by Josh Waterson. Partial breakaway. Waterson, his wrister, goes just wide. Good stick there from Alex Robinson. Waterson now maintaining control in the corner. His pass can't find a friendly stick. Hoover tries to make a dangle on the backhand, and Alex James will go the other way for NC State. A dangle of his own. Tries to drop it for Miller. Miller picks it up. He surveys his options and drops for Alex Robinson. Return to center, and now gets down low to Zach Robinson. Wrist shot blocked. Avery James drops for Zach Robinson. His wrister goes high, and it'll go all the way down into the Icepack zone.
Well, keep an eye on the net front there, too. A couple of guys going back and forth. It was Matt Miller in front for NC State. Miller went off for the change, but getting physical in front of David Shahadee in that Stevenson net.
Solomon now gives for Riley Johnson. Johnson drops for Victor Hugo. Hugo slap shot. High save. Pass across. Wrister, and they score! Looks like Chris Solomon will record his second of the game. And NC State leads 5-0.
Once again, they go across the ice. We'll get another look at it here, but they work it across and then go back over to Solomon. That's his sweet spot in that right circle. And if you're Shahadee there, you're already down trying to block a shot. You try and get it across. Solomon does exactly what you're supposed to do, goes high, and there's really no chance for David Shahadee. 5-0.
2 for the NC State co-captain, Chris Solomon, leading goal scorer from last season for the Icepack. His own zone, Ricky Frosch, hounded by Carlson. Carlson will eventually come away with the puck for Stevenson. NC State will take it back. Emery Oliver, the freshman, plays it ahead to Breshingham. They jostle for it in the corner. Attempting to throw it out in front was Avery Schaefer. Breshingham pushing along the left side boards. Going behind the net, drop for Oliver. Oliver can't handle it. Flipped all the way down on the backhand for Stevenson. That'll go for an icing.
Well, you can definitely see the Mustangs tiring out a little bit, but been pretty impressed with the skill level from this team. They've done a good job denying passing lanes. That last little sequence down there, a great example of it. There was not a lot of space for Bressingham to make the pass into the middle. You could tell he was looking for it as he got down along the goal line, was trying to slide it out into the slot, had a teammate there, but a great defensive effort to deny that pass and close him off behind the net, even though you're looking at a team that's probably getting tired with only 11 bodies total in terms of their skaters here tonight.
10 skaters, I believe, actually, for Stevenson. Lost a would-be skater, Curtis Robinson, due to a stomach bug. NC State now controls it. Ferrone gets on the stick of Oliver. Emery Oliver's shot. It's loose in the slot. They still battle for it. Eventually, it is covered up by David Shahadee.
Well, those have been the best chances. They continue to be the best chances for NC State. And we'll get another look at this last opportunity for the Icepack. Get it to the net, get traffic there, and just a nice job looking through a whole bunch of skates there. Shahadee found it and covered it up before it ended up behind him.
Alex Fong on the dot against Josh Waterson. The Mustang captain wins the draw. Candelana attempting to push it forward. Stevenson will eventually get it out. But Don Johnson will send it right back for the Icepack. Alex Fong now breaking into the slot. Jackson Cohen shot saved and covered by Shahadee.
We'll get another look at that last chance for NC State. We talked about zone entries. Not a bad zone entry there from NC State. And they get a chance out of it. But again, good effort and a good game so far, even though 5 have ended up behind him for David Shahadee.
And the NC State defensemen have done a great job in this game of jumping up and getting involved in the offense. Alex James, I believe, with the goal from the defensive end, driving that play. Not just staying at home, but also, pushing the puck, keeping that pace up, utilizing that team speed that is NC State's bread and butter. It's actually behind the NC State cage now. Pushing forward is Candelana. Is eventually pushed ahead by the Icepack. Arini across to Monteith. Alex Fong was a few yards offside there.
And the last place you want the puck to slow down is right in front of your offensive blue line. You get results like that. If you're NC State, you're not going to get beat up over it with a 5-0 lead. But puck gets slowed up a little bit there. Some of that as a result of the way Stevenson is playing in the neutral zone. You get a look there. Get some fans having a good time here at Wake Competition Center tonight. Why not? 5 goals for the Icepack.
NC State fans doing a little bit of swag surfing here at the Wake Competition Center with a 5-0 lead here in the second. It gets in deep for Matt Miller. Miller battling for it. He comes away with it. Ooh, nice little backhand drop pass. Solomon just couldn't quite get it up there on net. He picks it up. Solomon. Spin pass for Matt Miller. Miller now has it on the left side boards. He throws it right out in front. Solomon's all alone and he scores! A hat trick for Chris Solomon. And NC State extends their lead to 6.
And here's a second look at it. You can see Solomon coming out of the corner there. They lost him, and he has plenty of space out in front. And it's do or die there. If you're Shahadee on the poke check, you either get it and save the goal, or you're out of position when you miss. Not much he can do there, just trying to defend the pass. And as you mentioned, hat-trick goal there for Solomon.
You never want to leave anybody wide open in front of your goaltender. But if you had to specifically not want someone out there, Chris Solomon would probably be one of those guys. As he fires another wrister, and he scores. A quick 4th goal for Chris Solomon.
This is
and NC State's kicked the extra point.
And a little bit of deja vu from the game against North Carolina. It's kind of a slow leak to start, and then it turned into a flood in terms of goals, and we're seeing a little bit of that here late in the second period. You got to think some of that has to do with a short bench for Stevenson, and I think they're going to take a quick timeout here to try and regroup. But this has been a heck of a period for NC State, especially the last few minutes as they picked up some big goals.
10 seconds in between goals there for the Icepack.
Well, and I don't know the technicalities that go along with it, but you got 3 straight goals this period. Now it was goals 2, 3, and 4 for Solomon, but you take those 3 goals, you got a natural hat trick for Chris Solomon over the course of the last 2 minutes and about 45 seconds. He scored 3 goals.
And some of that may be symptomatic of the tired legs here for the Mustangs. We're able to hold on, down just 2-0 after the first period, but now a 5-goal flurry from NC State in the second period. There's still 20 minutes to go after this period's over. Timeout there to regroup. The teams will come back out to play the remaining 2:12 of this second period.
And you can look at the shot counter, too, and see that NC State has really taken control of this hockey game. It's 20-7. They outshot Stevenson the first period.
Robinson trying a fancy ding onto the backhand, actually hit the post and scored it out in front. Frosch picks it up. Ooh, and he's leveled into the boards by Josh Waterson, and that's going to be another penalty. Icepack taking exception to that play.
And if you're NC State, this is where you're going to have to be smart. You don't want to give Stevenson any extra life. I think a 7-goal lead, probably pretty safe for the remainder of this game, but you don't want to give Stevenson some life. You also don't want to, get too into the weeds in this either, because you end up, messing up the flow of the game. But on top of that, if it gets a little bit chippy, you risk an injury. And you risk an injury on any play in a hockey game, whether or not two teams are going at it physically like we see there. But when you create more physical contact, and we'll get a second look at the hit there, a hit from behind, pretty easy call. Now we'll see if they give any additional. But it looks like they're going to take one from, we'll see if they're going to take just one from each side or not.
I believe it was Waterson who committed the initial penalty, and now Ricky Frosch and Candelana are in the box. Maybe it was 74 instead of 14, as Hoover is opening the penalty box door here. I don't know if they're sending him off. Officials still in front of the scorer's table discussing everything being handed out here. Candelana and Frosch for sure will be sitting. Not sure what else will come of this skirmish.
Well, the Stevenson penalty box is open. I think they're going to get an extra one. And actually,
so Hoover is being sent to the locker room, and he's actually coming back.
Yeah, it looks like the linesman called him. Initially, they've, at least for now, called him back. And I think that's what Hoover was so frustrated about, is they were trying to send him off. You were right. They confused the 74 and the 14, and so it'll be Waterson, I think, for that hit from behind is going to be removed from this hockey game. And I think we're going to get 2 coincidentals for the extracurriculars that happened after the play. And then you're going to end up with a power play, I think, if you're NC State, because of what I believe is going to go down in the book as a boarding penalty. It's still got a little bit to sort out before we get back in action. I'm waiting to see what we get on the score sheet or on the scoreboard, because there's still, and it looks like they're going to send somebody to the box. I think Eric Bennett going to take a seat. And so there will be 2 Mustangs in there now. Bennett will serve, and it will be a 5-minute major on Waterson for that boarding penalty. So he's gone, and it's going to be a 5-minute power play that'll carry over 3 minutes into the third period for NC State.
And just about a nightmare scenario for Stevenson as their bench becomes even thinner, as they just dressed 10 skaters for this game. So throughout this penalty kill, they'll have 4 on the ice, 3 on the bench, 2 in the penalty box, and 1 in the locker room.
Well, there's definitely room to stretch your legs on the Stevenson bench.
Off the draw now, NC State picking up the puck. Riley Johnson throws it across to Solomon. Solomon cross ice for Zarek. Zarek's wrister to the blocker side goes high and wide. NC State still controlling it. Gets down low for Garrett Arini. Arini for Solomon. To the point for Hugo. Solomon on the right circle looking for number 5. Pad save by Shahadee. Carrying it up, eventually flipping it out for Stevenson is Jonah Carlson. NC State with a very long power play. They'll have just about 3 minutes of it left in the third period here, and of course will be on the advantage for the remainder of this period. Victor Hugo now carries it in deep from his defensive position. It drops all the way back to the point for Solomon. He regains it at the right point, gives it to Riley Johnson. Solomon now goes cross ice from a low angle. It bounces out in front. Victor Hugo fires a slap shot. It's loose still. NC State can't bury it. Eventually flipped out on the backhand by the Mustangs, and they'll get a much-needed change. 3 players switch on and off. Of course, one will have to stay out there for Stevenson. Peterson now. His shot deflects softly in on net. Low left circle off the post. Colby Peterson almost found the back of the net there, and it goes all the way back into the NC State zone. Daniel plays it behind the net too. Alex James. James drops for Alex Robinson, though. Just wastes the last few seconds of the second period. NC State comes on very, very strong here in the second. Add 5 goals to their total, and they'll lead 7-0 after 40 minutes. We'll be back with some intermission coverage shortly here on PackTV.
We build it, you demolish it. The legendary Homewrecker Burrito. Come build yours today with 20+ fresh ingredients.
First online order, 10% off. Promo code ONLINE. From the top of D.H. Hill Library.
Don Diablo. Oh yeah, this is actually like in my studio.
WKNC HD3 Raleigh.
Hey, what's up and what's going on, folks? It's Kid Kinetic, your boy up here at the top of the hour, and guess what I got? A treat that's too sweet to beat.
This is Wolf Bites Radio.
Oh, that's really sweet.
NC State.
Locally owned and operated by an NC State graduate, the Red and White Shop is your source for all things NC State. Just off campus in the Ridgewood Shopping Center at 3526 Wade Avenue, the Red and White Shop has everything the NC State fan needs. Sporting goods and memorabilia, your favorite NC State team apparel, tailgating essentials, Icepack gear. A proud sponsor of the NC State hockey team, a percentage of all Icepack sales go back to the team. Stop by today or visit us online. The Red and White Shop.
So with the fans, I mean, it sucks not having them here this year because they're an integral part to any time we have a home game. Their support and helping us get to nationals 2 years ago was just incredible, and how the community kind of rallied behind us and helped us get there. I mean, that was amazing. So if we could even have some semblance or replication of what happened 2 years ago this year, that would be absolutely unreal. This year specifically, we have a really, really good shot to, find some success and have a shot at winning that national title. And, the boys in the room believe we can do it. The coaches believe in us. Any support we can get would be amazing. You can donate at www.icepackhockey.com. This would help our team get to nationals, pay for flights, hotels, any transportation like buses and things like that. So we'd really appreciate your help in getting us there and helping us achieve our ultimate goal of winning that national championship. Thank you.
And welcome back to intermission coverage of Icepack hockey on PackTV, where NC State is leading 7-0 after 2 periods against the Stevenson Mustangs. I'm Max Gorin. With me is Chris Lehman. And Chris, things got a little messy there at the end of the second period.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of penalties for the two teams, and Stevenson in particular, I think, was having some trouble getting frustrated with the way the game has turned, and NC State's making them pay for it. They look really, really good on the power play, great movement, and of course, when you've got Solomon burying 3 goals in a span of less than 3 minutes, I think you're going to be happy if you're a Wolfpack fan, or an Icepack fan, I should say.
NC State, Chris Solomon with a natural hat trick, but it was his second, third, and fourth goals there in the second period, leading to this 7-0 lead. When we come back, we'll talk with goaltending coach Alex Rosetto here on PackTV.
Locally owned and operated by an NC State graduate, the Red and White Shop is your source for all things NC State. Just off campus in the Ridgewood Shopping Center at 3526 Wade Avenue, the Red and White Shop has everything the NC State fan needs. Sporting goods and memorabilia, your favorite NC State team apparel, tailgating essentials, Icepack gear. A proud sponsor of the NC State hockey team, a percentage of all Icepack sales go back to the team. Stop by today or visit us online. The Red and White Shop.
From the top of D.H. Hill Library,
Don Diablo. Oh yeah, this is actually in my studio.
WKNC HD3 Raleigh.
Hey, what's up and what's going on, folks? It's Kid Kinetic, your boy up here at the top of the hour, and guess what I got? A treat that's too sweet to beat.
This is Wolf Bites Radio.
Oh, that's really sweet.
NC State.
Build it, you demolish it. The legendary Homewrecker Burrito. Come build yours today with 20+ fresh ingredients.
First online order, 10% off. Promo code ONLINE.
Chris Lehman back with you on PackTV. Second intermission, and it is a 7-0 lead for the NC State Icepack over the Stevenson Mustangs. Now joined by goaltending coach Alex Rosetto. We'll start by just talking overall about the way the team has played, particularly in the second period. Get a lot of power play chances and bury a few.
Absolutely. I mean, at this point, you know, they're getting a little frustrated. They're starting to take some extra liberties there. We just got to make them pay for it, you know, and hopefully get out of here and just all in one piece.
Yeah, and as a goaltending coach right now, only 2 shots that period for Stevenson. Eric Daniel doesn't have much going on. What do you say to your goaltender in a game like this?
You know, you just got to keep your head in it, right? You don't want to get surprised by, you know, one of those, like, say, for instance, like a breakaway or 2-on-0. So hopefully he's just, you know, just keeping track of what's going on and doing the best he can down there.
Now, on the other side, David Shahadee's looking pretty solid in net for Stevenson. Maybe 1 or 2 weak goals, but other than that, he's been pretty hard to beat.
Yeah, absolutely. He's playing fantastic. I mean, you know, you kind of got a feel for the guy. I mean, he's had 43 shots on net at this point. You know, honestly, you know, they're doing the best they can. They got a really short bench. You know, they got 12 guys. At this point, we're just kind of out endurancing them, you know. So I definitely feel for him. I've been there, but, you know, he's doing the best he can, so.
Yeah, well, as you head to the final 20 minutes, obviously the game pretty well in hand. What's the message in the locker room to the boys?
Keep your head. You know, we want to be eligible for the next game, right? We got some big games coming up, so don't do anything stupid. Don't get hurt. We don't want to, you know, try to embarrass the team, right? You know, these guys are playing short, but they're playing with heart, right? So we want to respect that and, you know, just come out here and play a good game.
All right, thanks, Coach. Good luck in the third period.
Thank you.
That's Alex Rossetto, goaltending coach for the NC State Icepack. We'll be back to take a look at some of the highlights from the second period and finish getting you ready for the final 20 minutes, I should say, here at the Weight Competition Center. It is a 7-0 lead for the Icepack over the Stevenson Mustangs.
Locally owned and operated by an NC State graduate, the Red and White Shop is your source for all things NC State. Just off campus in the Ridgewood Shopping Center at 3526 Wade Avenue, the Red and White Shop has everything the NC State fan needs. Sporting goods and memorabilia, your favorite NC State team apparel, tailgating essentials, Icepack gear. A proud sponsor of the NC State hockey team, a percentage of all Icepack sales go back to the team. Stop by today or visit us online. The Red and White Shop.
And welcome back to Icepack PackTV. NC State leading by a proverbial touchdown against the Mustangs here after 40 minutes. And we'll take a look at some of the highlights from this game thus far. Second period, a flurry of goals for the Icepack, utilizing their speed, getting a lot of chances on the power play.
Yeah, and you heard Coach Rossetto talk a little bit. The Stevenson Mustangs, you know, losing their discipline a little bit, taking some penalties, doing a great job of making them pay for it. I think we'll get a look here at Chris Solomon. He's been really strong from the top of that right circle on the power play. Here you get a really good look at these creating on those man advantage chances, and he's done a real job of creating offense, particularly on the power play, and that's why NC State picked up 3 power plays second period.
Icepack taking advantage of some mistakes, some miscues, some bad bounces. That first goal from the second period, Zach Robinson was just out in front, on a loose puck, just barely able to get it past David Shahadee. You can see they're always trying the cross ice passes, trying to thread the needle. There you saw Alex James from a tough angle, just casual wrister on net, was able to catch maybe Shahadee off guard a little bit.
Yeah, it's really the only goal that you can put on Shahadee. Everything else has been in front of the net, a couple of extra rebounds that he really hasn't had much of an opportunity to shut down. But he's done a really, really good job of everything that he can right now.
NC State just relentless on that offensive attack. Chris, we mentioned before, 3 goals there in the second period, 4 total for the game thus far. And just a very naturally gifted goal scorer, very skilled player. He likes to the top of that right circle, make moves, and usually he's able to in a advantageous spot to try to score another goal.
Yeah, and I think that the big for NC State, I think what you're going to see is more penalties from Stevenson because I think they're getting a little bit frustrated, but at the same time, I think they're also just tired, and that's to more penalties. And the way NC State's power play has looked so far, I think it's going to be another of the third period for them.
You know, the Icepack simply peppering Shahadee at this shot differential 43-9 in favor of the NC State Icepack. One of the big reasons now they are leading 7-0 after 2 periods, and a lot of physical play, maybe a lack of discipline, a little bit from both teams there at the end as things get stuck. NC State carrying 3 minutes of power play time into the third period.
Yeah, and into what Coach Rosetto said there at the intermission, too. You got to just keep your head as you go into the third. Take advantage of the chances that they give you, but don't get too, as I was saying, into the stuff that's happening between the whistles or after the whistles.
Back leading 7-0 after 40 minutes here at the Weight Competition Center. We'll get you for the third period after a short break here on PackTV.
We build it, you demolish it. The legendary home record burrito. Come build yours today with 20 plus fresh ingredients.
First online order, 10% off. Promo code ONLINE.
From the top of D.H. Hill Library.
Don Diablo. Oh yeah, this is actually like in my studio.
WKNC HD3 Raleigh.
Hey, what's up and what's going on, folks? This is Kid Kinetic, your boy up here at the top of the hour. And guess what I got? A treat that's too sweet to beat.
This is Wolf Bites Radio.
Oh, that's really sweet.
NC State. Locally owned and operated by an NC State graduate, the Red and White Shop is your source for all things NC State. Just off campus in the Ridgewood Shopping Center at 3526 Wade Avenue, the Red and White Shop has everything the NC State fan needs. Sporting goods and memorabilia, your favorite NC State team apparel, tailgating essentials, Icepack gear. A proud sponsor of the NC State hockey team, a percentage of all Icepack sales go back to the team. Stop by today or visit us online. The Red and White Shop.
So with the fans, I mean, it sucks not having them here this year because they're an integral part to any time we have a home game. Their support and helping us get to nationals 2 years ago was just incredible, and how the community kind of rallied behind us and helped us get there. I mean, that was amazing. So if we could even have some semblance or replication of what happened 2 years ago this year, that would be absolutely unreal. This year specifically, we have a really, really good shot to, find some success and have a shot at winning that national title. And, the boys in the room believe we can do it. The coaches believe in us. Any support we can get would be amazing. You can donate at www.icepackhockey.com. This would help our team get to nationals, pay for flights, hotels, any transportation like buses and things like that. So we'd really appreciate your help in getting us there and helping us achieve our ultimate goal of winning that national championship. Thank you.
Back inside the Wake Competition Center, we're teams at here for the third period. NC State leading 7-0 after a free of 5 goals in the second period.
Yeah, and some chances here. I little over 3 minutes left on the power play, and it was a major penalty. So you can score as many times as you want. That penalty is not going to come off the board until the full tire. So a chance to harness that momentum they created with the 5-goal second period and finish this one off here in the final period of play.
Third period between the Mustangs coming up on PackTV.
Locally owned and operated by an NC State graduate, the Red and White Shop is your source for all things NC State. Just off campus in the Ridgewood Shopping Center at 3526 Wade Avenue, the Red and White Shop has everything the NC State fan needs. Sporting goods and memorabilia, your favorite NC State team apparel, tailgating essentials, Icepack gear. A proud sponsor of the NC State hockey team, a percentage of all Icepack sales go back to the team. Stop by today or visit us online. The Red and White Shop.
Minute and 52 seconds of power play time remaining. Actually, it's going to be more than that. Scoreboard operator still getting everything square here for the third period. They've got the 20 minutes up there now. NC State still on the power play as a result of the penalty and ejection from Josh Waterson, captain of the Stevenson Mustangs. And looking to finish strong in a game that is already almost assuredly in hand with a 7 lead. Be interesting to see what sort of deployment hit the ice for Tim Healy's team as they finish the final of this contest. So for the duration of this play, Stevenson will have just 3 substitutes on their bench. Only be able to 3 at a time for, I believe, the 90 minutes or so. Officials, scorekeepers, trying to get everything set up properly here for the final frame. It's not yet on the spot, but they'll go ahead and drop the puck. NC State with approximately 3 minutes of play time. Stevenson wins the draw, looking to melt away a bit of that penalty. Ice the other way, Jackson Cohen will carry it across center. He drops for Charles Monteith. Surveys his options, flips it ahead. Alex Robb attempts a cross ice pass, knocked away by Hoover. Throwing it in deep. It's Garrett Arini. Arini's mover. Fong picks up the puck behind the net. Flips it back to the point for Cohen. Cohen for Alex Robinson. Robinson gives it right back. It gets over to the top of the left circle. His wrister hits a body on the way through. Cross for Cohen. Cross for Robinson. And spins around. Taps it back for Monteith. Monteith defender. Fires a wrister. Blocker saved by Shahadee. Heads up play by Burr. Put it under the glove of Shahadee and they'll cover. A solid defensive performance. Although the scoreboard may not so far in this game by Stevenson, given the circumstances, only icing 10 skaters and now they've lost 1 and they're playing shorthand. I've been rather impressed by their performance. Goaltending from David Shahadee has been incredibly solid. They've faced 43 shots thus far from the home team. Back now through the middle. enter the zone offsides, they'll have to tag up. Just wasting away more time on that penalty are the Mustangs, and they'll eventually send it all the way down. In the corner, Don Johnson to find Ferrone. Ferrone picks it up, gets it across for Emery Oliver, the freshman. Drop pass. Flip back for Oliver. Loose skates, relocates it. At cross for Johnson. Don Johnson. Miles Ferrone now. Johnson's wrister from the point, sticked away by Blayhut. NC State holds the zone. Oliver pass. Can't find a recipient. And Stevenson sends it all the way to Eric Daniel. Stevenson, their own, trying to finish off this penalty kill. Bennett is waiting to be released. Not sure exactly how much time is left, but it appears Stevenson has just about killed off this power play for NC State. Matt Miller now makes a nice move to the backhand of the air. Knocked down with a high stick. A heady play by... Puck could have fallen into the net. Instead, he knocked it away. NC State controls it still. Peterson's wrister saved by Shahadee. He frees, and the penalty has run out. Excellent penalty kill on those last 3 minutes to start this third period by the Mustangs. So we'll play even strength now, 5-on-5. And winning the offensive zone draw with the faceoff win will go all the way back and out of the zone. Sam will leave it for Hugo, and he'll look to quarterback Bush. Deflects off the official. Coming in now was Solister, saved easily by Shahadee. Ooh, great vertical there from Victor Hugo to keep the puck in. Avery James. Pass for Solomon. Solomon out in front. Peter get open. Victor Hugo's wrister deflected. Solomon on the backhand. Matt Miller loses. Gets flipped over to Alex James. James is wrister and he scores! Alex James. And yellow from Alex James. Believe he scored in the second period. If so, that will be his second of the contest. A wicked wrister, found a lot of space there on the left point. State now leads 8-0. Goes all the way to Stevenson zone. They will break it out. Brendan Jesse dumping it in. It's played by Daniel. Risky, picked up by Jesse. Jesse now, they're all over him. Riley Johnson with a little flip ahead. NC State with some Robinson now tries to pass it across. Great defensive play there by Burkhart to stop crease pass. Zach Robinson now is buzzed over the ice. Riley Johnson carries it into the slot, fires with a glove of Shahadee. A sharp glove save. Alex James adds on to the total for the Icepack. So we've got an 8-0 game here with 15 minutes to play in Morrisville. Stevenson will pack it up and play again tomorrow against UNC Wilmington. Can't quite push it ahead through the neutral zone, but they back up. Brendan Jesse. Stick handles, goes high off the top of the glass, stays in play. Jesse dragging some Icepack defenders with him. Gets Blaya, throws it in front, nobody there. Jonah Carlson hit, pass, deflects away. Coming on in now, firing the wrister, save. Eric Daniels, Joey Geary, last chance there. And they may have gone to a running clock here. I don't know if that's intended or if they've simply forgotten to stop it. Now they've stopped it at 14. Shots 47 in favor of the Icepack. Puck drop pushed ahead by Jonah. Goes into the corner. They battle for it. NC State will clear the zone by much. Trying to push it ahead was Monteith. Couldn't quite find it. Goes off the stick of Ricky Frosch and back into the NC State zone. Arini. Carry it through the middle. Arini. They'll go across Charles Monteith. Ricky Frosch now. Back for Alex Fong. Arini. Pinballs away. Monteith drops it in for Arini, who his little pass can't be long. Monteith picks it back up. Cross ice, Ferrone to sticked away by Carlson. They continue to battle for it. NC State picks it up. Down low is Monteith looking for his first goal. He's been playing with a lot of steam. Monteith making the ground, can't quite get it to Fong. It's still loose in the slot. Eventually collect the Mustangs. They exit the zone. It's Blayhut. He fires it in from the neutral zone onto Daniel, and he'll simply get one up and freeze it. New mask for the goaltender. Eric Daniel looking quite sharp, especially paired with the new jerseys. Once again, designed by Icepack Eric Todd. On the draw, Oliver pushes it ahead. Breshingham will play it back to Hugo. Gets it up for Alex James. James frequently jumping in the rough. A very skilled freshman offensive defenseman. Bennett now trying to make a play. He'll go at it with Hugo. They jostle for it. Can't seem to move the puck. Emery Oliver now tries to flip it ahead. Moving ahead, it's Avery Schaefer. Schaefer coming in. Bar down, he scores! What a play by Avery Schaefer. Icepack able to move the puck through the middle, and we'll take another look at it here. Flip just gets past the stick of the defenseman, kicked ahead by Schaefer. His wrister goes bar south. So it's 9 goals now for the NC State Icepack. Avery Schaefer, his first start of the year for the Icepack, cashes in. They'll enter offside off the draw. NC State with a 9-goal advantage against the Stevenson Mustangs. There's no doubt they'll continue to play hard to finish off this game, but try to play with respect for all their opponents, hence their team slogan this year of respect all, fear none. And a lot of respect should be given to this short-handed squad playing for Stevenson. That play may be whistled dead a little bit early. Puck was moving around in the crease. Shahadee has faced 48 shots between the pipes, 49 with that last one. From that Icepack offensive attack, 60 shots in this game is well within the realm of possibility. Deflection front by Solomon, looking for his 5th goal of the game. Pad save by Shahadee. Goes all the way back into the Icepack zone. They try to push it through center. Stevenson fires it into the NC State bench. .11 to go. 9-0 hockey game here at the Wake Competition Center. Icepack win the draw, but Blayhut is there to dump it in for the Mustangs. Miles Ferrone collects behind his own net. Peterson's pass intercepted by Blayhut, but he's swarmed by white jerseys. Colby Peterson now through the middle. Over the blue line. Can't make a play all by himself down there in the corner. It's flipped way high off the ceiling of the Wake Competition Center. That'll be a stoppage. Another offensive zone draw coming for the Icepack. Squirts out to the left side board. And it'll be a hand pass. So the faceoff will come out of the zone. NC State keeping the pedal on the metal. Zarek now with the steal. Wrister from the slot by Riley Johnson. Iced down by David Shahadee. Another draw here. Poked out in front by Zarek. Johnson almost cashed in to make it a 10-0 game. Ricky Frosch now. His slap shot goes wide of the net, almost tipped in. Backhander by Johnson, and what a fantastic save by David Shahadee. Despite the score, he is still every bit as locked in to this game, having faced more than 50 shots now, having saved quite a few of them. NC State playing in their own zone, looking to push it forward once more. Robinson, touch pass for Riley Johnson. He dangles the defender. It's a 2 or 3 on 1 now. Johnson, individual move all the way to the net. Swallowed up by who else but David Shahadee.
He continues to play a really, really good game. Obviously, you look at the numbers. Actually, I alluded to it earlier talking about Eric Daniel. Had to come in and build his confidence back up because he was in a situation like this on a frequent basis, actually playing at the NCAA D3 level, where he had to face a lot of shots, gave up a lot of goals, but also stopped a lot of pucks. And that can be tough to deal with on a night-in, night-out basis. But I think Shahadee's done a pretty good job here in this one.
That puck played off the glove of Victor Hugo. That'll be a hand pass. So the face-off will move into the NC State zone. Pardon me, I guess. Be in the neutral zone. Officials discussing where they'll be dropping this puck. Unsure. It will be in the NC State zone. To the blocker side of Eric Daniel.
I think that's the right call there, too. They confer for a second and get it right.
Face-off won by the Mustangs. Shot blocked. NC State's going to have a very dangerous offensive chance. Pass across. Another glove save by David Shahadee.
Great anticipation from the netminder there. He saw the pass coming, and there wasn't a lot of time there for Monteith going in there with Arini, but You may be trying, if you're Arini, send that back across. Again, not a lot of time and space to do that, but very obvious. I think that's where we talked about James catching Shahadee off guard in the second period with that shot instead of the pass. Shahadee was definitely favoring the pass there, and he jumped across and made a nice save.
Garrett Arini will control it on the sideboard in front of the Invisalign sign. Monteith swooping around the net, playing with a full head of steam. He goes across the middle, circling around all by himself. Another pad save by Shahadee. Cleared out once more by Stevenson. And there'll be a delayed penalty. Not sure where the call will be. Find out shortly after. Touch up by Stevenson. Ooh, that'll be another penalty. That'll be added on. Blayhut with a hit to the head of Charles Monteith. And it may be 5-on-3, and we'll take another look.
Yeah, this is a play where, you know, as the guy making the hit coming in, you gotta lay off there. You can lay a fairly clean check if he gets the body, but very obviously that was straight to the head of Monteith, and we're gonna get a penalty here. And we'll wait and see. That may be another 5-minute major and an ejection, although I haven't seen anyone leave that Stevenson bench.
So Burkhart is in the box now for Stevenson. Don't know if that was the initial penalty or the additional check to Monteith. They're still sorting things out here, and Candelana will join his teammate in the penalty box. So it'll be 5-on-3 for 2 minutes. Icepack just continuing to get opportunities, keeping their foot on the gas.
And it will be another 5-minute major for Blayhut.
So I believe Blayhut was ejected. He is in the locker room now. NC State with a 5-on-3 advantage.
And they're cut down to 8 skaters now for the remaining 8.5 minutes.
Zach Robinson with a one-timer saved by Shahadee, and he'll freeze it.
Yeah, but that penalty on Blayhut is going to really hurt this Stevenson team.
So Blayhut gets the 5-minute major for that check near the head of Charles Monteith after the initial penalty by Burkhart.
And that's where the frustration comes out a little bit. If you're NC State, you got to anticipate it a little bit. Keep your head up. Don't take too many risks at this point. A 9-goal lead with 8 minutes is certainly enough to win this hockey game. Just play it smart, take the chances you're given, and come out of this game, you know, nice with a nice clean bill of health.
Through the middle, Alex James take the puck outside. Met once again by Hoover. Nick Hoover has had a pretty decent defensive performance given the circumstances. He's made a couple good plays down there in the Stevenson end. Alex James in the right corner. Drops for Zach Robinson behind the net. Robinson for Matt Miller. Miller gives it across to Charles Monteith. Monteith has been hungry for scoring opportunities in this game. Here's Zach Robinson. Ooh, a nice dangle onto the forehand shot. Saved or blocked away. And the Mustangs clear the zone.
It's been a great game from Zach Garneau. We haven't talked about him too much. Watched him do a nice job of breaking up some chances in transition for NC State. Another nice defensive play there.
Oh, drop pass from Monteith to James. Can't quite connect. Another easy clear for the Mustangs. Just 10 seconds remaining on that initial penalty, so it'll go from 5-on-3 to 5-on-4 for the next 3 minutes. Penalty will expire as Emery Oliver enters the zone for NC State. Back for Don Johnson, his low wrister. Can't find the net. Great blocker save by David Shahadee on the rebound. Ricky Frosch's shot deflected by a teammate and almost into the net. Excuse me, a Mustang out in front. Avery Schaefer from the hash marks on the outside. Zach Robinson behind the net. Gives for Oliver. Emery Oliver goes across to Don Johnson. Tries to find a pass. Puck goes up in the air. Lands safely behind the net. Going out in front, it's Robinson onto the forehand, and he scores! Zach Robinson with a great move. He fires the wrister short side. We'll take another look here.
Just good, hard, solid hustle play there. Get around, win the battle behind the net, force your way out in front, turn around shot. He goes high with it, and there's not much, again, you can do if you're Shahadee. Point blank, trying to cover that post and cover the bottom of the ice in case he tries to stuff in a wraparound chance. You can't cover the bottom and the top of the net all at once. A nice individual effort there by Zach Robinson to pick up that goal.
So it becomes a 10-0 hockey game here with a hair under 6 minutes to go. NC State still on the power play as it resulted from a major penalty. They could score as many as they see fit. Puck thrown out in front, nobody home for the Icepack. It goes all the way back to Daniel. Victor Hugo looking to quarterback something more for the Icepack. Hugo throws it through the middle. Schaefer will collect in the corner and drop it back to the point for Alex Robinson. This pass goes to Hugo. Hugo's wrister glove save by Shahadee.
I'm not sure that one was on net, but that's still a smart play by Shahadee to glove that. Schaefer was right there on the back post, and I think if Shahadee doesn't glove that, it's off the body of Schaefer and either sitting right there for him to just swat in, or it ends up deflecting off of Schaefer's body and in.
Minute and 47 seconds remaining on the penalty to Blayhut. Of course, he will not return to this game after being ejected.
Candelera serving his penalty down there in the box right now. But that's really a huge, huge loss for Stevenson, having two guys tossed from this game on an already short bench, and which makes it that much harder on these guys who you can really tell they're battling to finish out this hockey game, but the gas tank is on E right now, I think, for the Mustangs.
Quick hit off the face-off, goes behind the net. NC State coming the other way. Chris Solomon. Solomon tries to flip it ahead. Good defensive play by Hoover to clear it out. Despite, all the goals scored in their end, Stevenson has done a decent job of anticipating those cross-ice passes and, not letting NC State have their way in that way anyway. As Peterson and Hoover get tied up. Alex James pushes it ahead for the Icepack. Matt Miller drops for Cohen. His shot is saved by Shahadee. And another penalty will go against the Mustangs as the officials nearly collide in front of the Stevenson bench.
And that penalty, I think, not a result of a temper at any point, but just a result of being tired and not being able to keep up with NC State. Burkhart going to go to the sin bin here for a couple minutes, I think.
Not sure exactly what's transpiring now. The officials will go have another discussion in front of the scorer's table. Initially believe the penalty was on Burkhart. He's sitting on the bench right now. And they're trying to hash this one out. 4 minutes and 9 seconds to go here from the Wake Competition Center. NC State with a 10-0 lead. 2 goals in the first, 5 in the second, and now 3 in the third period. For NC State, a stuffed score sheet. Having a discussion with Stevenson coach Ergo. And Looks like Bennett will.
Well, the scoreboard has another 5-minute major up there against Hoover, but
and
did not see
Hoover
where that
has also
infraction
been ejected from the game. Nick Hoover nowhere to be found. Must have missed him going to the locker room. So now just 7 skaters for the Stevenson Mustangs, and they will be on the penalty kill for the remainder of this contest.
Well, and they're a bit fortunate that it's a 5-on-3 right now. They've only got 7 skaters total. 2 of them are in the penalty box. 3 of them are on the ice. If it were 5-on-5 right now, obviously you'd have some guys out of the penalty box, but 5-on-5 in the situation they're looking at right now would have nobody on the bench.
You know, all the credit in the world due to the Stevenson Mustangs. Playing with a shorthanded roster tonight. NC State cleans up a rebound out in front. Riley Johnson buries that rebound chance and makes this game 11-0.
Well, that's where NC State has made their money tonight. We'll get another look at it here. Nice job by Hugo just to throw it across, and then they get a shot to the net and a rebound out in front. Riley Johnson might have gotten a tip to it on the initial shot and then put the rebound home, but he's right out there in front. We talked about it at the first intermission. NC State was, you know, getting their best chances, getting the puck to the net with traffic there and just getting into the dirty areas, and they do it once again, and this time it's Johnson putting it home.
So another goal for NC State. Lift across. Oh, great play by the Icepack, but an equally great save by David Shahadee there. Had him moving laterally, but he was able to make the save. Just an onslaught from the Icepack here to finish off this game.
And they will have a power play for the remainder. Still 3.5 minutes left on that major penalty to Hoover, and only about 2.5 left in the game.
So Hugo controls it at the point. His wrister sticked up in the air. Eventually played by Joey Geary, but Schaefer now on the left side for NC State. Tries to feed it in front. Can't quite get it there. Hugo to the sideboard. It gets back to Robinson at the right point. Avery Schaefer. Cross ice saucer pass. Oliver gives to Hugo now. Hugo fakes the wrister, goes wide, fires another one, saved by Shahadee. Couple extra seconds ticking off the clock.
Well, looks like they've got it running here for the remainder of this game.
Yeah, I don't believe either team would really oppose a running clock for these last couple minutes.
NC State's still really dominating this game. You look at it, 54 shots to 11. That's about 34 shots to 4 over the last 2 periods.
Gets played up to Jesse. Brendan Jesse can't get around the defenseman. Rookie Frosch now controls it for NC State. He's pushed and shoved by Candelana. Eventually it gets to Monteith. Charles Monteith. Cross ice pass to Alex James. James will carry it in on the right side. James tries to dangle through the legs of Ken Burkhart. Still possessing it. Thrown across Ricky Frosch. Oh, Alex Fong had Charles Monteith on the other side of the slot. Couldn't connect with him. He gets down low. Arini tried to find someone on the doorstep. Ricky Frosch gives to Fong. Fong down low to Arini. Arini through the middle to Fong. Tries to make one more pass to Monteith. Can't get it through. Gets back to Fong just 25 seconds to go. His wrister scores! Alex Fong fires a wrister from the top of the right circle. And it's 12-0 NC State.
Yeah, and that look there at Burkhart just sitting there, I think it sums it up for Stevenson. They're running out of gas. Nice shot there. Through a little bit of traffic from Fong, and based on the reaction of Shahadee, I don't think that he really saw that one coming, and it looks like the clock will run out on this one.
Seconds take off the clock there, and that'll do it. From the Wake Competition Center, NC State wins this one by a score of 12-0 over the short-handed Stevenson Mustangs. All the credit in the world due to Stevenson, of course. NC State was too powerful, too good on the power play. They were able to win this one
Good
sizably.
debut of the new white uniforms, I would say. A good effort from NC State. They had to battle through some bad bounces early. They stayed persistent, stayed in their game plan, and obviously it works out with a big win.
NC State with the 12-goal victory here on this Friday night to kick off the month of October. We'll be back shortly with some post-game coverage. You're watching Icepack Hockey on PackTV.
Welcome to the We build it, you demolish it. The legendary Homewrecker Burrito. Come build yours today with 20+ fresh ingredients.
First online order, 10% off. Promo code ONLINE. From the top of D.H. Hill Library, Don Diablo.
Oh yeah, this is actually like in my studio.
WKNC HD3 Raleigh.
Hey, what's up and what's going on, folks? It's Kid Kinetic, your boy, up here at the top of the hour. And guess what I got? A treat that's too sweet to beat.
This is Wolf Bites Radio.
Oh, that's really sweet.
NC State. Locally owned and operated by an NC State graduate, the Red and White Shop is your source for all things NC State. Just off campus in the Ridgewood Shopping Center at 3526 Wade Avenue, the Red and White Shop has everything the NC State fan needs. Sporting goods and memorabilia, your favorite NC State team apparel, tailgating essentials, Icepack gear. A proud sponsor of the NC State hockey team, a percentage of all Icepack sales go back to the team. Stop by today or visit us online. The Red and White Shop.
So with the fans, I mean, it sucks not having them here this year because they're an integral part to any time we have a home game. Their support and helping us get to nationals 2 years ago was just incredible, and how the community kind of rallied behind us and helped us get there. I mean, that was amazing. So if we could even have some semblance or replication of what happened 2 years ago this year, that would be absolutely unreal. This year specifically, we have a really, really good shot to, find some success and have a shot at winning that national title. And, the boys in the room believe we can do it. The coaches believe in us. Any support we can get would be amazing. You can donate at www.icepackhockey.com. This would help our team get to nationals, pay for flights, hotels, any transportation like buses and things like that. So we'd really appreciate your help in getting us there and helping us achieve our ultimate goal of winning that national championship. Thank you.
A resounding victory for the NC State Icepack tonight, 12-0, the final score here from the Wake Competition Center. And Chris, things just kind of spiraled there throughout the last two periods for Stevenson.
Yeah, I think it kind of snowballed on them, the problems they were having. Short bench, you get tired, you take some penalties, you get frustrated, you take some more penalties, and you can really start to see the frustration. A couple guys getting tossed there in the third period makes your bench shorter, exaggerates that problem, makes it more difficult to deal with. But I think you look at the way the guys that were still on the ice fought. I thought that Shahadee had a really, really good game. Couple of soft ones got by him, but when you face 60-plus shots, eventually that's going to happen. And I think he did a really good job with what was thrown his way tonight. And you look at it, Burkhart laying out to block a shot in the last 30 seconds. They still had the effort there, and you got to respect that. And on the other side, NC State came in, did what they were supposed to do, didn't deviate from the plan, and get a 12-0 victory.
The final shot counter in this game reading 64-11 in favor of the home team, being the Icepack here on whiteout night at the Wake Competition Center. On the other end, Eric Daniel faced 11 shots and
allowed 0 goals.
Yeah, and if you're a goaltender, you probably want to see a few more shots, get into the game a little bit more. We talked with Coach Rossetto about that a little bit. You just got to keep your head in the game, got to keep up with what's going on. I think Daniel did a good job. And, hey, first game in the new white unis, he picks up a shutout for the Icepack.
A lot of positive takeaways in this game, certainly for the Icepack, as they'll go on the road next weekend, take on squad from the University of Delaware.
Yeah, that should be another good test for the Icepack. You get on the road, you get away from what is a really great venue to play at, a really friendly venue for you, and you get to test yourself on the road. And those games against teams like Delaware, we'll see Penn State come in later on here in the month. We'll also see Kentucky. And so a nice job by Coach Healy. He scheduled a pretty tough schedule for this team in order to continue to make them better. And that's something he talks about. He wants to continue to grow this program, make them stronger, and you do that by playing teams like Penn State, like Delaware, like the Division I Liberty team that we saw a couple weeks ago. And you can see this team continuing to get better. I remember when I first started covering this team 5-6 years ago, they'd go up and play the Division II team against Liberty, and it would look kind of like tonight, except NC State on the wrong end of that. So you see huge strides that this program is making, and they're going to continue to play some good competition throughout the season.
12-0 victory for the NC State Icepack tonight against the Stevenson Mustangs. We'll return with some more post-game coverage after a few short messages. You're watching Icepack Hockey on PackTV.
Locally owned and operated by an NC State graduate, the Red and White Shop is your source for all things NC State. Just off campus in the Ridgewood Shopping Center at 3526 Wade Avenue, the Red and White Shop has everything the NC State fan needs. Sporting goods and memorabilia, your favorite NC State team apparel, tailgating essentials, Icepack gear. A proud sponsor of the NC State hockey team, a percentage of all Icepack sales go back to the team. Stop by today or visit us online. The Red and White Shop.
From the top of D.H. Hill Library,
Don Diablo. Oh yeah, this is actually in my studio.
WKNC HD3 Raleigh.
Hey, what's up and what's going on, folks? It's Kid Kinetic, your boy up here at the top of the hour, and guess what I got? A treat that's too sweet to beat.
This is Wolf Bites Radio.
Oh, that's really sweet.
NC State.
Build it, you demolish it. The legendary Homewrecker Burrito. Come build yours today with 20+ fresh ingredients.
First online order, 10% off. Promo code ONLINE.
Welcome back to PackTV. Chris Lehman with you as we wrap up coverage of NC State's victory over the Stevenson Mustangs. Final count 12-0. Now joined by Drew Bresingham of the Icepack. And before we kind of get into the nitty-gritty of the game, Drew, first of all, first game in the new white uniforms. We actually talked to your teammate Eric Todd, who designed the uniforms. What do you think of the new threads?
Oh, they're beautiful. If anything, they're definitely better than last year's and past years. I know we had the same whites for about a decent amount of time, so it's totally different, and it's really nice to have them.
And now as we take a look at the game, obviously you pick up a goal. Can you talk us through what you saw on that goal and how it kind of all came together?
Yeah, so it was working down the corner low, and the way we like to work the puck is we like to suck their forwards down low and move the puck low to high. So when we get the puck high, it opens up different opportunities in the slot. So my teammate Don Johnson saw me right through the slot, and it was an easy just kind of look read, and it was a nice tip-in.
Yeah, and it seemed like you guys did a really good job of creating chances down low and around the net. That's really where your bread and butter was tonight. What kind of conversation was there about that as the game went on?
So as the game went on, there was a lot of talk about, we know that they were short benched, and our mantra is respect all and fear none, and we really respect them for coming down here for 13 guys, so we knew we had to work them down low and get them exhausted so that it can open up a lot of different opportunities for us, and we were able to get a lot of our rookies their yellow laces off, which was really nice doing it.
Yeah, and for those of you who don't know, the yellow laces mean you don't have a goal as an Icepack player yet. So you see the guys with the yellow laces still looking for those first ones. Always good to get those off. And you guys have a good time in the locker room when that happens as well. But as we look forward now, you're going to go on the road next weekend to take on Delaware. How is that different? Obviously, you play a road game against Liberty. What's the difference from playing here at Wake Competition Center?
Oh, it's totally different. So first things first, I think we got a 12-hour bus ride, so that'll always be interesting. But a lot of the guys will keep it lighthearted on the bus to kind of keep the legs kind of rejuvenated and just kind of keep the team morale up. So that'll be one thing that's different because we all just come to the rink from campus. So that will be a different task. And then Delaware, they'll obviously have a full team, so it'll be a little different doing that. But I heard they swept Cincinnati, so it'll be good competition, and we just got to try our best.
Well, thanks for joining us here post-game, Drew, and good luck against Delaware.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me.
All right, that's Drew Bresingham of the Icepack. We're going to step aside for just another minute. We'll be back. Max Gorn will talk with the head coach of the Icepack, Tim Healy. Final count here at Wake Competition Center, NC State 12, Stevenson nothing.
Welcome to the Bulls!
We build it, you demolish it. The legendary home wrecker burrito. Come build yours today with 20+ fresh ingredients.
First online order, 10% off. Promo code ONLINE. From the top of D.H. Hill Library.
Don Diablo. Oh yeah, this is actually like in my studio.
WKNC HD3 Raleigh.
Hey, what's up and what's going on, folks? It's Kid Kinetic, your boy up here at the top of the hour, and guess what I got? A treat that's too sweet to beat.
This is Wolf Bites Radio.
Oh, that's really sweet.
NC State. Locally owned and operated by an NC State graduate, the Red and White Shop is your source for all things NC State. Just off campus in the Ridgewood Shopping Center at 3526 Wade Avenue, the Red and White Shop has everything the NC State fan needs. Sporting goods and memorabilia, your favorite NC State team apparel, tailgating essentials, Icepack gear. A proud sponsor of the NC State hockey team, a percentage of all Icepack sales go back to the team. Stop by today or visit us online. The Red and White Shop.
So with the fans, I mean, it sucks not having them here this year because they're an integral part to any time we have a home game. Their support and helping us get to nationals 2 years ago was just incredible, and how the community kind of rallied behind us and helped us get there. I mean, that was amazing. So if we could even have some semblance or replication of what happened 2 years ago this year, that'd be absolutely unreal. This year specifically, we have a really, really good shot to, find some success and have a shot at winning that national title. And, the boys in the room believe we can do it. The coaches believe in us. Any support we can get would be amazing. You can donate at www.icepackhockey.com. This would help our team get to nationals, pay for flights, hotels, any transportation like buses and things like that. So we'd really appreciate your help in getting us there and helping us achieve our ultimate goal of winning that national championship. Thank you.
Welcome back to Icepack postgame here on PackTV after NC State secures a 12-0 victory over Stevenson here at the Wake Competition Center. Joining me now, head coach Tim Healy. And coach, a resounding victory obviously tonight, but maybe a little slower to start, some bad bounces or some whiff shots in the first period. Do you think there was maybe a little bit of a rust factor after taking such a long break since the last game?
I don't know about that. I mean, just some bounces didn't go our way early on. Their goaler was really good. I mean, you look at 12 goals, but I mean, he was really good. I think the other thing too is, before we go anything, I want to give a lot of credit to Stevenson. They came down here with a really short bench. I really respect a program like that. Still it's on the schedule. I mean, this is a team that beat us 2 years ago, up in their barn 5-1. I mean, they beat us pretty handily. So Stevenson is a good program. They just, for whatever reason, they were short benched tonight, and I still give them a lot of credit for coming down and playing hard till we, our four lines really wore them down.
64 shots on goal tonight for your team. And they come out and play in the new threads, the whiteout, big home game. What is it like playing in that atmosphere and just having all those good breaks and just such a great offensive performance?
Well, we certainly gave the fans a lot to cheer about, and Iceplex was an incredible home ice advantage. It really was for us. I don't think we lost there for a couple of years. And I'm just excited to begin to turn WCC into a home ice advantage. You come out, especially with the way the locker rooms are on this side, you're coming out, you're seeing the crowd. Just really thankful for the support we have in Raleigh. It's really a true collegiate hockey atmosphere, which is awesome for these guys. And yeah, the new threads were great.
Big road trip coming up next weekend. Drew Brushingham was just talking earlier about the long bus ride. He said it might be in the neighborhood of 12 hours. A big test coming up. How is your team going to prepare for that?
First of all, I want to be thankful that Bresci is not our bus driver, because it doesn't take 12 hours to get to Wilmington, unless you're going through like Chicago where he lives. So fortunately, Bresci can just be a passenger on the bus and not worry about Google Maps. So he's not a geography major, so we got that going for us. But yeah, but Delaware they're a really good team every year. This year they're particularly good. They're off to a hot start. They swept Cincinnati, who was a Nationals qualifier, to the last years that they played. They didn't play last year. So this is going to be a huge test for us next weekend. We haven't had 2 back-to-back games yet of a high caliber team, high echelon team. And so we're looking forward to that next weekend.
All right. Thanks, Coach. Congrats on the win.
All right. Thanks, Max.
12-0 victory here at the Wake Competition Center for the NC State Icepack. I'm Max Gorin for everyone here at PackTV. Thank you for joining us. PackTV bringing you into the pack.
Pack.